Hello, 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 everyone. Welcome to the Nocturnal Nerdcast, Pop Culture in the Dark, the 100th episode, as 3Dub reminded me last week. We're at 100 episodes. I can't believe it's been 100, but I guess doing 2 a week, it goes by pretty quickly. So we're at 100 episodes. I had some technical issues yesterday. I will explain all of that in a moment. But first, we're going to be talking about tonight some Chris Pratt stuff. We have some stuff about the Marvels and a bunch of other small news. There's a trailer for the Lego Arkham game, I think is what it is. Lego Arkham game. I haven't watched it yet, but I've seen a couple of pictures from it. So we'll look at that and see what that's all about. And that's not everything. I got a bunch of other small stories to talk about. And we're going to do, obviously, one of the bonus topics at the end of the stream. Chainsaw passed 100 right before you. I know, but I'm going to pass everybody else because I'm doing 2 a week. So, anyway, yeah, but thanks everybody, all the people in the chat that have made it possible to do 100 episodes. You guys are incredible. All your support has been overwhelming. So thank you guys so much. You're always here hanging out, having a good time. So thanks. And 3Dub for he's been here almost for every episode. You've only missed a few of them, actually, I think.
It was because of scheduling conflicts.
Oh yeah, but you've been here for a lot.
Yeah,
I think you've actually been on the show more than anybody else. If I went back and looked at the streams, I think you've been here more than anybody. So Batman Legends of it's called. All right, hold on. It's called Batman Legends of the spelled the internet way TEH Dark Knight. Is that how it's spelled for real, or is that just a mistype from?
I think it's a mistype.
I'm excited though. Yeah, it's got like a difficulty scale, which I don't think they've ever had in any of the Arkham games. So we have Darren in the building. What is up, Darren? How are you?
Hello.
Yeah, welcome. I was just telling everybody we're at 100 episodes, which goes by very quickly when you're doing 2 streams a week.
2 a week.
So
it's still a whole year. So.
It is a year. That's true. That is true, actually. Crazy Joe's concession stand. You sent me an email. Not sure if you got it. Yesterday was. I wanted to start out talking very positively before I talk about what happened yesterday because it was not good. So we'll get there. Ronan has just joined us, by the way, in the back room.
What's up, y'all?
So Ronan's here. Are you still at work, Ronan?
No. So right now, I took a break from editing and rendering stuff, so that's why I'm doing more of a mobile version right now. That way, I let the computer not crap down on me while I'm joining you guys. So I'm just taking a break right now and might go back in a bit to edit more.
Okay. Well, appreciate you being here.
Yeah, of course.
So what happened yesterday? Let me tell you about all the crazy stuff that happened yesterday. So I was making a special video just for the 100th episode. I went through and downloaded, I don't know, like 30 clips or something like that of funny stuff that happened. And I was going to put like a compilation video together because I thought that would be a lot of fun to do. So I downloaded everything and I was putting up new lighting. I got the on-air sign here that I got now. I got a little stand here for my game, my controllers and my headphones. So I was getting all my LED lighting up. I have another one over there that I just didn't finish putting up. So anyway, I had a bunch of fun stuff that I was working on yesterday. And as I was processing the video, my computer restarted. Like it was 10 minutes from being done. And yeah, it was bad. So then I was like, all right, let me check in Adobe and see if it saved some of it. And it did. Like, it was like 70% of it was saved, so I didn't have to do too much to get it back going again. So I started doing it again. It rendered fine, got through the rendering process, went to the saving process, and it restarted my computer again. So I'm like, what is going on? And then it smelled like something was burning in my room. So I checked, and my computer smelled like it was burning. Wow. So I opened it up. I cleaned it out. I didn't see anything on fire. I was like, okay, that's good. So I called a friend of mine who does computer repair. And so he was like, well, check this, check that. We checked a bunch of stuff. It wasn't any of the things that we thought it was.
Cord?
What is that?
The cord?
Well, that was the other thing is we checked that and I checked a few other small little bits, but I couldn't see any actual like damage and there was no like visible smoke coming from it. So we went through and did like diagnostic checks on the computer to see what was going on. This computer that I'm using right now is essentially running on duct tape and prayers at the moment because it is a basically a zombie computer. I can't do anything on this. It's completely gone. Like it just does. It's an 8-year-old computer. It was my 8-year-old gaming computer. So it's just completely gone. There's nothing I can do without spending a bunch of money on upgrades for graphic cards and stuff like that. It's just, it doesn't have power anymore, which is why a lot of times you'll see that I'm running the show over on this computer, because this computer is my quote unquote production computer. Because I'm not running cameras on it. So I can share things easily. It doesn't lag. It doesn't slow down. This one has been nothing but constantly slowing down on me, causing problems for probably about the last 6 months. So it looks like I'm going to have to save money and get a new computer because I don't have another choice. So I have a work computer that I use for music and lighting. That still isn't good enough to run 1080p 4K video streaming. It just doesn't. It's all of my computers are old. They're all old. Mm-hmm. So essentially I just need a new computer. Or I can run my show from my Chromebook, which is slow, but it works. Anyway, I'm a little bummed out. So last night I was just annoyed with like trying to get everything working. And I was like, you know what? I'm not going to try and do the stream on something else because I was really annoyed by it. So I basically just didn't do anything last night. I shut down everything, walked out of my room, got my thoughts together, came back to it, managed to get it up and running enough to stream. Wait a minute. What in the world?
It's Twitch, I think.
Oh, okay. Gotcha. I was like, did something pop up on the screen or no? Did it? Okay.
Yeah.
I heard the bell, but I'm like, wait, what is that? I forgot I'm running.
I saw the notification right there on the screen.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Flossing or whatever it was.
Cool.
Interrupted by you.
Hold on for a second. The weird thing is I'm seeing this. Did you type this out? Or is this something that StreamYard is doing now? Jose, like, is this? Did you type this out? Because this seems like something this seems too nice
I don't
of
think
StreamYard to do
he
it.
typed it out. I think that was an automatic thing saying like $5 from Jose, and then what he typed out.
It doesn't come up as a
100.
super chat though.
Yeah. It doesn't come up as a super chat. That's why I was wondering.
Oh, okay.
Oh, it is a super chat. Wait,
It's a super hat.
but it's not coming up in the. Do they not do that anymore?
I think it.
I
Oh, it. Okay, I see. Star now.
No, I just did that manually.
Oh,
Hold on.
It's coming as a super chat for me, they're saying. So on our side, it just looks like a regular message. Hold on, let me go to the stream side of it.
Did they change something?
It's a super chat on the YouTube app. It's super chat, but it's not for us.
So StreamYard fucked up again. I was like, they did something cool, but they didn't.
Let's hope that's not permanent. Hopefully that's a fluke.
Hold on, let me see. Where would that be at in our... It should be here in the chat section.
Yeah?
Anyway, thank you, Jose. Sorry, don't mean to like take away from this. I do appreciate it. Do appreciate your super chat. Do you guys see that it's not showing up as a super chat?
yeah. There was a start section, and then it just disappeared.
Right. So
Oh,
like I
yeah.
can do this. Right? I can star it like this.
Okay.
But it doesn't have a defining thing that makes it a super chat, which is going to be very annoying because
That'll be very easy to miss.
Yep.
what? All right, hold on, guys. Sorry, I'm looking.
Hopefully there's just like a glitch in the matrix. Hopefully.
All right, let me check over here. Yeah, because it doesn't make any sense that it's not showing up as a super chat, right?
Weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, because if you go in like the regular like YouTube chat, it looks normal.
It's very visible, like last week when it was like green or something like that.
Yeah, look, it's not. It says it's a super, like it says $5 from in our chat, but it doesn't highlight it.
That's so
Nope.
weird.
So I don't know what level it is because normally I can look at the color and be like, that's green, that's teal, whatever. I don't see that at all.
Must be a bug.
It has to be. There's
It
no
must
way they
be
did
because
that.
that wasn't. I was on another show today and it wasn't like that. Like we got normal super chats and it was fine.
All right, hold on for a second. Let me do this. Because this computer is so slow, I can't do anything with the camera running. It literally, like, I can't do anything. So let me turn my camera off for a second.
Maybe it's because of your computer. Maybe.
No, I'm just going through the general thing. It's got display information, display informative messages on stage. Yes. Shift up videos for comments, audios, avatars. Automatically add presented media stage. Let's see.
It looks like it's a StreamYard thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, the problem is StreamYard is not very active on social media. So when there's a bug, we don't know it's a bug because they don't tell us. Anyway, let's see. What I'll do is I'm going to manually star them if I see one or hear one pop up. At least I can hear it in my headphones, so that's good. Anyway, thank you, Jose. I do appreciate it. So if it's showing up as super chats, that means it should be adding towards the goal. Let's see. Let me double check. Sorry, you guys. I've had a day. Okay, so this is not surprising to me that there's another issue that we're dealing with. It could also be, and maybe it's not StreamYard's fault. Maybe it could also be on YouTube side. Like if YouTube changed something, that could also be affecting it as well. So anyway, yeah, we have 2 out of 10. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it, Jose. 2 out of 10. They have to be teal tonight because I am trying to raise money for a new computer. So anyway.
Remember that you can do a firm. It could cut the cost down, so you don't have to pay like a huge lump sum.
What?
A firm with Amazon. You can use a firm with Amazon to.
For a new computer. Yeah, I get what you're saying. Yeah, I understand.
They don't have to pay like $2,000 up front.
Yeah, hold on. Let me check something here. Save that there. And we got a point. I think is that pounds from Maddie?
0.79 pounds.
Wait, that one auto starred. See how that one looks?
Mm-hmm.
That one auto starred.
Oh, okay. I see the on the starred list. There is green. There is colors and stuff.
Right, but it's so like if I do it from here, it shows up right, but I have to auto star it. Hold on.
I assume it's just a glitch. I assume it's a...
Y'all, if it's not one thing, it's another. Anyway, thank you, Maddie, for testing it out. I do appreciate it. Let's see here. Yeah, okay, so auto star super chats is turned on. So for some reason, there's an issue with YouTube and StreamYard. I don't know why. Anyway,
being OCD with us.
Yeah, it's doing something for sure. Anyway, we wasted enough time dealing with that. All right, so how is everybody else doing? How is everybody else's week going so far?
I honestly lost my train of thought. It's actually less stressful now, but it's going pretty good. I'm getting ready to go on a trip to Gulf Shores, Alabama, so that should be fun.
You're actually leaving Florida?
Not by myself, but with 16 other people. But
oh wow!
So it's
wait. Oh, is it like a church thing?
Yeah, it's basically like a church thing, but
okay.
It's more like a friend gathering.
But it's still social. That counts. So it's good to see that you're like getting out and doing something. You've had to deal with all that drama around your apartment. I feel like it's good for you to get out of the house. So
I feel like I needed a break and get away from solitude.
Yeah. Update about Pagey. So here's the situation. Starting in September, I might be doing regular weekend streams. Not totally sure yet. But what we're going to do is Pagey is going to be joining me for a lot of those.
Sweet.
So he will be back. We'll see.
Paige is making a comeback.
Yeah, it's okay. We did get another super chat here from Jose, and it looks like this is the weird thing. If you look over in the starred chat, guys, this one has got the bug again. It's not green.
Yeah. So it's clearly a glitch. It's not new update.
Anyway, another $5 from Jose for Eric's Computer Fund. I appreciate it. Like, honestly, if I get a new computer, my content will be a million times better. Because remember when I was saying the other night that it looks really dark in here, even though I didn't change anything? I think it's actually like my computer struggling to process video and stuff like that. I think that's the issue. Let's see. Oh, Jake has arrived. There you go.
Uh-oh. Give me that coffee, Jake. I need
Hey,
it.
dude.
So yeah, Paige will be joining for weekend streams. He's already confirmed with me. So.
Oh no.
He hasn't uploaded in forever. If you go to his channel, it's funny to read the comment section on his videos.
What's up, Ronan?
Ronan's like, I'm going to turn on camera for my phone.
I changed shirts. I was wearing a Wolverine shirt earlier, and now I'm sporting a Hercules shirt.
Oh,
Nice.
with an X-Men hat?
Yeah.
Great
He
Disney.
has to. Come on. now.
That's an interesting combo.
Come on. If they don't see me in this at least once in a while, they're gonna think something's wrong.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
Chainsaw called all of y'all out on Twitter, so I just feel
Sure
like...
did.
Yeah, and as I quote, "Fucking X-Men wearing hat, motherfucker." But no, I mean the black. It's got the black background, it's got the yellow text, so it's kind of matching.
Yeah, no, it's
Technically,
good.
it does.
It's good.
Yeah.
All right, so...
And hey, these were both great shows in the '90s.
That is actually true. That is true. All right, hold on. So, where is it at?
What I miss?
Glitches.
Malfunction. Streamlabs being dumb.
What's going on
I
now?
have your StreamYard.
Same thing. Whatever.
No, what happened?
I was just giving them a recap of.
Oh, Jose, that's a good question. I don't know. Like, we saw that in my other on the Debunks channel, it shows up normal. Yours showed up normal afterwards, but when you initially did it, it did not. So we'll see when somebody else super chats in the Reloaded channel if it actually shows up normal. I don't know.
Darren, maybe you do need this coffee because you're already fumbling your words 20 minutes into this.
So let's start out. I'm gonna pick I'll pick one random topic that I have saved. This one's interesting. I'm sure people will love this one. Here we go.
Ruh-roh.
No, it's actually not that bad. It's not that bad.
What Marvel character would look the best as a stripper?
So it cost Netflix $152.5 million to produce Happy Gilmore 2.
Ew.
Why so much money for this? Is it all celebrity talent? Is that what it was?
Celebrity? Yeah, maybe.
Well, it's been a few years, so people's income kind of like, I guess, actors kind of like get recognized more, so they get like an update on their income.
Well, it just makes you wonder, like, okay, so think about this. If a movie comes out in theaters and it's a $150 million movie, with advertising, rule of thumb is like $250 million.
Yeah.
It's not always accurate, but let's go with that, for example. Let's just use that. So this movie outside of Netflix would have cost around $250 million if it was out in theaters based on this budget.
Yeah.
How much money does Netflix make off these movies? They can just release a $150 million movie and it's not a problem.
It's tough because I feel like we don't know how it works. Like, I feel like we don't know how streaming movies and streaming shows get a lot of their income.
Yeah.
I know from subscribers.
Well, yes, of course.
That's the basic thought of it. Like right now, I like that you brought that up, Darren, because like I heard that Tarantino said that Netflix is putting $200 million on the David Fincher movie about Cliff Booth, and it's just like, what the fuck? And I mean, again, it's just like, where else besides the subscription are they thinking they can get the money out of?
Yeah.
Weird.
Yeah, again, like a lot of the income stuff is a mystery. Like, yes, subscribers is where a lot of it comes from. That's not,
Well, I don't know if you guys read or not, but Disney is not the only one, but they're one of the ones that announced this. These streaming services are going to stop giving any kind of financial updates.
Also, I think some of the income comes from like outsources where they pay Netflix to stream their stuff. That's another.
Why would they wait? Hold on.
Like CW had a Netflix deal where they literally.
Yeah, but this isn't the same thing as
That
that.
has
This is
nothing to do.
This is a Netflix production. This is all money out of their pocket.
They're not distributing it.
There's also like movies that were made like not for Netflix that are getting streamed to Netflix. So
that would have nothing to do with this budget, though. Like this is.
No, I mean like that's where they get their money.
You're saying like you're right. But what we're saying is like I don't think they would like. I don't think Netflix could allocate like, oh, we're going to spend a crazy amount, like an actual like big budget amount on a movie that isn't going to theaters because somebody else may buy something of ours later on. You know what I mean? That's not, they're not going to do that.
Sorry, I thought we're still on the, like how they're making money.
No. I mean, but no, that was tying into what you're saying. Like you're saying that they make money off of other deals, and they do.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is they're not going to say, okay, we're going to write a check for $152 million for Happy Gilmore because we might make money from something else down the road. That's not the way they would do it. I mean, the thing is that the numbers that they have must be showing them that Adam Sandler is bringing in X amount of views and subscribers to their service, because they wouldn't just give this money to anybody. Not after what happened with Zack Snyder and some of these other big budget movies they have. You know what I mean? That flopped on their. So
I guess that X number is high enough for them.
And like, you know, to be fair, like this movie did extremely well on streaming numbers. And again, but like we don't know what that, you know, equates to in terms of like the money value and like what it means overall. I would have been fascinated to see how this would have done in theaters though. Like $150 million. Like I actually think it maybe could have done okay if they promoted it properly, perhaps.
Maybe. Look, this movie, I feel like these movies have a audience that will go out and see them. But $150 million audience to go and see them, I don't know.
No. The most I can see it making is like under 100 million.
I don't know. I think it would make more than 100 million, but you got to think 150 million budget plus marketing because they'd have to market it. We're talking about like a Marvel movie essentially. You know what I mean?
You would need people to come back for repeats,
and when they choose to release it as well. Counts. Like right now, Weapons has been making money just because it was right after the FF and Superman and Jurassic World month. And it's all right. You can make some money now out of it, and it's just like it'll vary on when they would have released this movie.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I don't know, but again, folks just want some. I'm not gonna say throwaway movie, but like casual, nothing big setup, nothing big tempo movie. Just something that like I like to call it like the Redbox thing. I'm like, all right, I just see what's on Redbox. So let's see,
it's funny you mentioned that, Ronan. Not specifically because of Happy Gilmore 2, but just in general. I was reading an article. I don't think we talked about it on stream. Maybe we did briefly, but I was reading where these kinds of movies used to be sort of a cornerstone for theaters. Every month you'd get like a funny, cheap movie that would make a lot of money for theaters and studios. They didn't spend a lot of cash on it, and it just kind of was like a regular thing that people would go out for date night and stuff. These movies have now shifted from theaters to this, and it's part of the problem in Hollywood is that these I say mid-budget. This isn't really mid-budget, but the mid-budget rom-com silly movies that used to bring people into theaters once a month don't really exist anymore. You don't see movies like that in theaters anymore.
Yeah.
No, and especially now with where the pricing is at in movie theaters. Again, I forgot who it was that said it. It's probably Tarantino that said that like going to the movies was quote unquote like the entertainment thing anybody can go to. Right. It wasn't a concert. It wasn't a play. It wasn't an opera. It was like anybody can go pay and buy a ticket. Which is compared to now, especially for families, you have to budget and choose which movie you're gonna go and when you're gonna go, and see if there's seats available, and also are you gonna choose the right movie? Yeah. Are you gonna choose something that like we think it might be good, but then it turned out being bad? And it's like, well, we wasted $60 of our money that we needed and whatnot.
And I mean, it doesn't help that with in the eyes of a lot of people, let's face it, a number of the movies that have been coming out lately have not been of the highest quality. There are some that have been, but when you're raising up the ticket prices and getting lower movie quality, that dissuades people from buying more tickets in the future, so your numbers just going down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, go ahead. Sorry, Darren.
I was just going to bring up Freaky Friday.
Yeah.
I feel like that's a relevant example right now.
It's pretty close to what we're talking about. Yeah.
It's the most casual movie I think we've seen in theaters in a while, where it's just like shut your brain off, go see it, and it's made $42 million so far, which isn't great. I'm sorry, no, it's made $60 million.
I was about to say it's made more than that.
It's made $60 million on a budget of $42 million.
Right.
So I think that's an example of maybe what Disney's going to be looking at in the future. Of like, okay, it's already made past its budget because we have a very, very low budget, and they keep it in theaters for a couple more months. That's a success for Disney.
Can I sort of like also? I got 2 points I want to make here, and then we can just continue talking about this. But movies like Home Alone and stuff like that would not exist in today's market. They would be direct to streaming movies. That's where they would go. Right.
Sadly, yeah.
Okay. Right.
It was a couple years ago.
Yeah. If you think about it, though, and this is going to go back a couple years, Barbie is kind of like that kind of a movie. Like it's a movie that is sort of like, funny and silly, but also has a message. It's got a lot of heart. Like that kind of movie. It did well because I think people were starved for those kinds of films. And it also ruins expectations for bigger movies. I think the reason why we're seeing blockbusters sort of fail is because the idea of like theater etiquette, socialization, people wanting to go out and be a part of that system, that's broken down because we have a link in the chain that's gone.
Yeah, and I look back at some of these movies, and Happy Gilmore, the original Freaky Friday, both the original ones, they would have a not so big budget, bloated budget. It would be at the box office and either would flop or be a hit or make its even money. And then it would get second life in home video. And then sometimes most of these movies gather a following in home video. I go back to stuff like Warrior, the Del Toro's Hellboy movies.
Yeah.
I know during my high school years, John Wick or Sicario, if they didn't do that much money in the box office, when they went to Redbox or went to home video, people would buy it and be like, "Oh man, this is a really good movie," and that's where it became a following. At least I think.
Yeah, same thing with like the Steve Jobs movie that came out around that time.
Exactly.
Yeah,
exactly.
A bunch of other different ones.
Yeah, I think there's another thing I want to talk to, and this is kind of a progression of this conversation, and I also get a chance to talk about it a little bit before we jump into one of our big topics. But Alien Earth, has anybody been watching this at all?
I'm covering it on the channel.
Okay. I haven't covered. I'm
all right.
Still behind.
I'm not going to spoil anything on it. I just want to talk about the overall thing. Well, I won't spoil it, but I'll give my thoughts on it. So I'm enjoying it. I think it's a really, really, really good show. Yeah. Not just conceptually. It's a great addition to this universe of like the Alien Predator universe. I think it's really good. There are I think there's a few things they're going to have to tie up in the show to make it make sense going into the film, because it takes place, I think, like 2 years before the original. The original, yeah.
Yeah.
There's a few things they're going to have to tie up, but I'm going to wait for them to get there. I'm going to let them cook because I've really enjoyed the first 3 episodes. But this is what I mean when I talk about like the loss of these kinds of movies, right? This show, each episode has been essentially the quality of like a mid-budget movie.
Yes.
It's been that good. Between special effects and practical effects, acting, storytelling. The first 2 episodes were a movie, in my opinion, together. Like, if you watch that from start to finish, it leaves you on a cliffhanger, but you get a full story in those first 2 episodes with these characters. This is one of the issues that I think theaters is dealing with, is that there are high-budget TV shows that are as good and better than mid-budget movies.
Yeah. Why go out and pay a bunch of money if you can experience that at home?
Yes.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people, unfortunately, they are not enamored by the theater experience the way they once were. They're they much prefer doing it, from the comfort of their own couch. Some don't really see the theater experience as a novelty anymore, especially in a, post-COVID time, a lot of people are like, you know what? These movies are just going to come out on streaming in X amount of months anyway. They'll just wait for it. Then they don't have that same drive to see it, right there in that environment of people like we do, where we're seeing it in a room full of people that are just as excited as us.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, that what seemed like a novelty, 15, 20 years ago is becoming less and less of one. And I'm hoping that can be, that mindset can be flipped on its head and, make that into a more main thing again. And if they would present their theaters in a better way, then they might be able to get on that track. But lately, they have not been doing that.
I was basically like, for me, like what you're saying, like TV shows can be better than movies. That is true, considering that Superman and Lois basically did Batman v Superman better than Batman
that's exactly what I'm saying. Like we're getting TV shows that rival mid-level movies, and some of them, like I would argue, it depends on where the show goes, because we're looking at the Rotten Tomatoes scores here, which I understand why it's at where it's at. This show might be at the end better than some of the Alien movies we've had. I mean,
right now it's at right there. It's right underneath Alien and Aliens for me.
Yeah, it's definitely at a high bar, and I feel like this is one of the things that theaters have. Also, I want to break away from that for a moment and say that theater etiquette is dead as well. I notice I see a lot of people talking about how people treat theaters like their house.
Yeah,
and they're not supposed to be like that. They're not a concert. You're supposed to treat the theater like a library, essentially. You go in, you're quiet, you watch the movie, you can cheer, you can clap at stuff, but you don't sit there and talk on your phone and do all that. Like that's just not acceptable.
That and the fact that they're encouraging it, like people, you have people that are encouraging theaters now to be, this cannabis-friendly environment. It's like you're just asking for more and more drama to happen at these places.
Yeah.
Like, I get that there's social events, but the social events there, they are out in the lobbies before you go into your theater as you're waiting. You're chatting it up with your buddies, and then you're chatting it up with your buddies when you get to your theater early before your previews start. That's when the social environments come in.
Exactly.
When that screen goes up, you shut the hell up.
I expect people to talk during previews. That's just a given.
That happens. But like as soon as that movie starts, because I have had several movies where even if I come out enjoying the movie, the theater experience is sometimes sullied because I have an unruly crowd sitting by me. Could not tell you.
It's so strange because like you would think people would have like common sense how to go about it. Like I'm fine with like hey, who's that? Oh, that's the bad guy. Like little stuff like that's fine.
That's fine. But
people don't do that. It's like, wait, who's that guy? It's like, shut up.
God, I remember this vividly. I went and saw 2021's Candyman. I went and saw that movie in a theater, and that's probably the worst theater experience I've had in a long time that I can remember off the top of my head, because not only like as the previews are going, I'm sitting like a row or two behind these douchebag high school kids, and they're just giggling back and forth to each other as the previews are going. I was like, okay, maybe they're telling a joke. And then it keeps going throughout the movie, and I keep hearing that same repetitive giggle. I'm like, what the hell is going on? I stand up. This is in like the first 5 minutes. I stand up. I look down. They're watching porn right there in front of me.
Oh my God.
and also, not only is that happening, but on the opposite side of the row that I'm on, you have these people. I'm assuming they were there on a date, but they were getting really handsy with each other, really loud, and making all these comments towards each other. I said, hey, can you guys shut the hell up, please? I'm trying to watch this. And they go, no, what are you doing here, man? Like, you do your own thing. Leave us alone. I said, you're in a fucking movie theater. What are we doing here? It's like, this is not the place to do that.
Right.
I get it. Kids wanted to have a reach around and all that stuff. I get that. But, like, at least in my days, you would look up, okay, what's the auditorium that's the most dead? And, like, or the one that's dead? And you go to that one and you did what you try to do or whatever. Yeah. But, like, I look at that now and, like, I'm not gonna blame recliner seats because I love recliner seats. But I see that now, and I'm like, people think they're in the goddamn living room. And like,
you're right. You're absolutely
in my
right.
living room. I clean my shit around. Even if it's in my house, I like my stuff clean. I don't want leave it up for insects and whatnot to get. And it's just people just I see it now, and it's just like, what the you're all gonna. If
Like,
they start thinking that away, you're gonna make it worse for us all. They're trying to
just
I
have
feel
people
really
that
bad
care
for the
less.
people.
It's so bad. Like you have people that
Yeah.
care less if the place around them is filthy.
Exactly.
I feel really bad with the people working at the theaters because there's people like just throwing popcorn on the floor. I'm like, do you know who cleans this?
Yeah, I felt bad about that too. I also
Ridiculous.
think that 3Dub, have you ever seen it where people will like leave other trash in theaters too, not just the stuff they get at theaters? I've seen that before as well. Yeah. All right, we're gonna drop the Discord server link into the chat. You guys know the rules. This is the only time I share it, so here we go.
You know what's fascinating, Eric? That you mentioned the whole stuff about TV and like Alien Earth could be a movie. I thought about it now, and I look back at it now. Some of my favorite stuff that are big franchise IPs, they would do a season of television, and 2 or 3 episodes of that would make a phenomenal one-off film. I go back right now to season 1 of Mandalorian. The first 3 episodes, it's about Hunter doing his thing. He finds a kid, doesn't know what to do with the kid, tries to return the kid, and then realizes, no, I can't leave the kid behind. And he rescues the kid, and like that's a whole movie right there. You could have done it. It's like all set, and like, but then again, a lot of factors go into it: the budgeting, the amount of money that theaters are charging, and also you look at it now, and right now, indie filmmaking is the thing to do, where you can still have a movie experience, but see if you don't break the bank. But sadly enough, also some of the best indie stuff is also in both theaters and TV. You know, look at Netflix and look at how much the international shows are blowing up more than homemade U.S. shows or Northern American shows.
Well, to kind of go off that point, Rona, you were talking about how some of those episodes with a little more contention would make good movies if you were to pair 1 or 2 of those episodes together. I'd say that is just as much the case for I know Darren will appreciate this. Like some of those episodes of like Arrow, The Flash, Superman, and Lois, you put some of those together, like some of those 2-parters or just pairs of episodes together as a movie, and it would arguably work better than as an episode of television.
Put Earth X in theaters, and it's one of the best DC movies.
Yeah,
I'll go a step further than that. Take all of the slab side scenes from Arrow and put that into a movie.
Yeah.
But that's why I'm pumped as hell for the Mandalorian Grogu, because that was something that I always have said from season 1. I'm like, do one movie and just do a one-off story. You can leave some breadcrumbs for the fans who've been watching and following the show, but that movie has to work on its own. I hope John and Dave wrote it like if it was the last thing they would ever do with Mando. Obviously, it's not going to be. But that's the point of that type of film, where it's like it could be anybody. My grandma can go see that. Have a good time, and then that be the only thing she sees about Mando. And then me, for the nerd guys, is all right. That's the next big thing. It's stood on its own. It's probably just as strong, if not better, than most of the episodes. And then we might see the dude and the kid eventually down the line.
And it's good that those episodes, or not episodes, sorry, that movie is now no longer having to compete with Avengers. So Disney's not having to battle themselves.
I'm so fascinated how that's going to do, because we've seen, not to get into box office talk for next year already, but like we've seen the effects of people not going to see a movie because they haven't seen a show, right? And I'm so fascinated to see, like, there has not been a Star Wars movie since 2019. It's been almost 6 years.
And we've also seen the effects of a Star Wars movie releasing around that time of year versus at Christmas. We've seen what
I could see it doing incredible. I could also see it bombing. Like, it could go either way.
I don't want it to be another Solo.
I want to point out 2 things about that specifically, and then I have a couple other points I want to make. But 2 things about the Mandalorian movie is, 1, they need to advertise it like no one knows about the show.
Yes.
So it needs to be advertised as if they're advertising a movie that has no other promotional stuff. And like, you can advertise the show with it, but make sure the movie advertising is about this movie. 100%.
And the casuals that haven't seen the show.
Yeah.
And it's going to be very like Superman coded, where it's just all the ads are just cute baby Grogu just being like,
I mean, like, you have to sell this like people have never met Grogu before. You have to sell it like they've never met Mandalorian before. You have to sell it that way. And the second thing is that they have to, I think what Marvel needs to start doing, or Marvel, what Disney starts to start doing with Star Wars, is back to like what James Gunn is talking about doing with DC. Now, I don't know if he's going to actually follow through with it, but I think they need to start doing things in stories like anthology type things where this is just a story about these characters doing something that has nothing to do with anything else they've ever done before.
Yeah.
I see the appeal there. It's just sadly that you have to market that stuff right, or else like it just either doesn't get viewed or doesn't get received well. Because I mean, look what we just got on like the Marvel side of things. Eyes of Wakanda, very anthology based, and
which I loved it. That's what I loved about it.
Still something that hardly anyone's talking about.
Yeah, and you know, like if you look at that, if you look at their lineup right now, like it does kind of feel like they're doing that to an extent. Like you have the Mandalorian, and that's obviously going to lead to their like little crossover movie they're working on, obviously. But then you have like that big prequel disciple movie they're doing. Okay, that seems super separate. And then you have
Dawn of the Jedi,
that one, and then you have like the Ryan Gosling movie, and that feels like it's kind of separate. And then you're doing your like like episode 10 stuff, right? And you know the Rey stuff as well. Like it feels like there's kind of all across the board right now in terms of what they're doing, and maybe it is one large storyline that we don't know yet. I don't know. Like maybe it is all connecting to one another, but right now it does feel like they're separate.
Right.
And that could either be incredible for them or terrible for them. We don't know yet.
That's why I feel like out of the footage they're showing, or they will be showing, I really hope they shot stuff that won't be in the movie, but it's just as engaging or energetic as what is going to be in the movie. Because we talked about all the time how much we can already tell where the third act's going to go, and where we think, all right, this feels like it's going to be in the middle, the beginning, and in the end. And like again, as someone who's seen some stuff of Mando because I've gone to these events and whatnot. From what I've seen, it doesn't look like anything out of what I know what's going to happen. Because I have friends everywhere, and like I hope that translates to general audiences. Because I hope to God they get Pedro, Sigourney, and Brendan and Lateef, the guys who play Mando in standby when Pedro's not on set, and just promote the out of it 6-8 months in advance. That way they know that May it's going to be the summer of Mando and Grogu.
I wanted to point out, though, like I was just going through and looking some of the movies that feel like they're sort of standalone that don't have a lot of connective tissue. One of the big ones is James Bond. Like James Bond movies are about the same character in the same world, but they usually don't, like the story is contained within that movie. Surprisingly, Mission Impossible, sort of like that. Like some of the earlier ones were like that.
Earlier, yeah.
Yeah.
With those, I basically like each actor has a contained story, even though they have like sequels. I think that's a contained story.
I mean, the Godzilla kaiju type movies also have sort of self-contained stuff or
pretty
whatever.
Much, yeah.
I think what we need to do for consumers, at least in the short term, is start making films as if it is just this movie.
Yeah.
Like just this film, and that's it. Like there's no setup for another movie. There's no anticipation for a franchise out of it. If it does well, great. If it doesn't, we've had movies in the 80s and 90s that end up being cult classics that completely bombed at the box office. And then they're great movies that people remember for being just one-off films. Like sometimes it's going to work, sometimes it isn't. I think, and I'm not talking specifically about Marvel because I think Marvel's has its own separate issues or whatever. But I think movies in general, we need to start. Number one, they need to start putting stuff like this at this level back in theaters. And they need to start bringing other low to mid budget movies back to theaters to start building that theater experience. And also, people stop fucking talking and using your phones in movie theaters. I'm sorry, that has to be said. So
that's a little bit of a gamble bringing those things back into theaters, but that's something that I've noticed over the last 20 plus years. It's like when people that are making a movie, whenever they dare to take risks with the type of thing that they put out, their film might suffer initially, but it'll garner a following over time. Look at films like, the Shawshank Redemption, not very well received at the time. It was a box office flop, and it's one of the most well-regarded films of all time now.
I want to point out the reason why I'm saying this is if you think about it now, and I think everybody will sort of agree with me on this. Maybe they won't. I think you guys probably will. Maybe the chat will disagree. But a lot of times the reason why there's such high expectations for movies is everybody feels like going to a movie has to be a 10 out of 10 film, and that the expectations are going in that it has to be the best thing ever. When back in the day, you would go to a movie because you were just interested in seeing if the movie was good or not. Like there were films that would come out where you're like, I just want to go see it. It looks interesting to me or whatever. We live in an age where there's no risk in that anymore. Now it's like it either goes straight to streaming or it has to be a 10 out of 10 movie in theaters. And I hate that that's where we are right now, but that's where a lot of the internet discourse is that just okay things never go to theaters because people will not support it.
Yeah.
We also live in an age where, people, this is what I hate too. People are stuck in their minds to where only one type of film will please them or only one genre will please them. Like they'll see a movie this is an easy example, but it's the first one I can think of. Last year, Deadpool and Wolverine. I saw, like the people that were enjoying that film and eating it up. But then you had this small section of people, and that section grew a little bit, of people who were saying, oh, is this what movies have come to now? Just, praising things from the past and glazing what we loved, just putting this fan service together as slop for the pigs. It's like, calm the hell down. If this is not if this isn't the kind of movie that you like, if you don't like fan service,
the snobbery aspect is gatekeeping, and that deters people from wanting to go to movies. Right. That's one of the problems.
But if that's also not the kind of movie for you, there's other movies, there's other genres of movies, there's other movies in the comic book genre that are out there. If that's not for you, then fine. There's something that is.
Yeah, that's why, like right now, I'm not even talking that much about, Doomsday or Spider-Man until further stuff comes about, because right now, if you ask me now, like, Ronan, what do you want to see right now so badly? The three things that are coming out of my mind is Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein.
Yes.
Predator Badlands. And the Cliff Booth movie that might come out either next year or in 2027. Yeah. Those are the three things right now. If you have to put like a gun to my head, like, what do you want to watch right now? Like those three things. And it's like that shows to people that like I'm not just into Star Wars or Marvel and DC. They're a big part of my DNA. Right. But if I only watch, read, listen, and breathe that, it gets tiring after a point, and you don't appreciate stuff like the Thunderbolts of the world, or you don't appreciate movies like The Accountant, or some indie, like Poor Things or whatnot. And like the more vast your range is, the more you'll be open to stuff and engage with it more than just being so seclusive. And in my point of view, so picky about what you see. Mm-hmm. I'm with that with food, and I'm trying to get better about that. And I just like the more you can do that with books, with movies, with shows, the better you'll be at experiencing that stuff, and will be worth gambling on or trying out when it comes to paying money to go see a movie or subscribing to a streaming service.
Right.
Hell, even beyond like all the comic stuff coming out next year, as soon as this film got announced like 5 months ago, I think, probably even more than that. But coming out in January, you have a movie called Send Help coming out. I don't know if anybody's heard of it or has any idea what it's about, but it's basically Sam Raimi's first full-on horror movie since Drag Me to Hell. And I've grown more and more of an appreciation for the horror genre as I got older, into my 20s and now 30. And I've come to realize it's like, okay, like there are other types of, like I was saying before, other types of movies, other types of genres. And, you can take your favorite filmmaker, like insert name here. They don't just have to be good at doing one thing either. Like they can express range. Like you can have your things of theirs that you favor. Sure, that's fine. But they don't have to be locked down to doing that one thing.
I also want to point out, and then we're going to move on from this here, and we got a couple super chats we're going to talk about. Two things. I see people in the chat, they've talked about it too, but I saw people in my comments talking about this when I was talking about movies previously, about like going and supporting films, about ticket prices. Blame the economy. The economy is the reason why the ticket prices are so high. When these theaters have to pay higher electricity bills, higher everything, they have to raise the prices because the government is squeezing them out of money. It's not like they're pocketing every penny of it. They have to be able to make money as well. So they're in a situation where the costs are rising around them, so they have to raise the price on tickets. Yeah. It sucks, but that is the reality of the world we live in, honestly. When theaters have, 3DX, IMAX, all of these different things, every single time they invest in an upgrade or something like that, they have to raise price. This is just the cost of the entertainment that you're consuming. And even so, you look back, it's all relative. Like back when ticket prices were lower, the cost of living was also lower.
Yeah.
So it seems like a $7 ticket back then would have been the equivalent of a $20 ticket now. It's just the way it is. The difference is that minimum wage, don't get me started on this, minimum wage has not gone up and everything else has gone up in price. So the gap feels wider because of that reason. But the actual increase in cost of living it's always going to go up. That's just the reality of it.
We have concepts of a plan.
Yeah. All right, we got some super chats here. $5 from Lone Wolf. So it is Lone Wolf got it too. So it's not just you, Jose. Surprise Armando, Darren, last Dexter episode was peak. Love to hear your thoughts. The way Dexter taunt the Gemini, I was like, give me more. Any thoughts on Dexter?
No, I've been adoring this season. This episode, they've not had a bad episode this season. They've been going straight gold for about 7 episodes straight, and yeah, everything with that, with the Gemini killer, I've enjoyed a lot. I would have liked a little bit more of him, but besides that, it's been great.
And Lone Wolf, go finish what you're saying.
I was just gonna slightly self promo. I did a whole stream on it on my show. So
go check it out. Go check out Darren's stream. I think he's also talking about Dexter here. I'm also glad the episodes are in the 9 ratings for Dexter. So
did you see they broke IMDb records with this?
I didn't see that. No,
they have one of the biggest since Dexter season 4. They have one of the highest streaks in television history of 9 straight across the board from us the entire season.
That's pretty cool.
Dexter is so good.
Yeah. Thank you for the super chats, guys. We're 4 out of 10 now. Only 6 more teal to reach our goal.
I know that's an easy pick for the best season, but I mean, it's so damn.
It's
It's kind of funny because he's basically a serial killer, yet he's a hero in my book.
That was the big. I would say Dexter's one of those shows that began the era of liking the person that's doing bad stuff because they're doing bad stuff to bad people.
I feel like with it and Breaking Bad were on at the same time, and I think that was the start of making likable antagonists.
What's a better show, Breaking Bad or Better Call Saul? Which one is the better?
Oh, Breaking Bad easily.
Better Call Saul. Easily.
Oh,
okay.
I mean, okay, wait, not easily.
Debate.
I think both are 10 out of 10 shows.
I couldn't get into Better Call Saul. I just couldn't. I tried. I love Breaking Bad. It's one of my favorite shows, but I just couldn't get into Better Call Saul.
I enjoy Saul more as a character, which I think
that's fair. But
helps.
You were talking about another show with great protagonists or morally great characters. That's just look at the entire cast of Game of Thrones, pretty much.
Yeah.
That
House
was
of the Dragon.
that era.
Everybody's a dick.
Yeah.
All right, it's time. You ready to talk about the Marvels? Are you ready to talk about that? We got a quote from DaCosta here. Yeah. Okay. So
I swear, every week something new comes out about one of these movies.
The thing is, I think she was doing an interview for something else. They this particular account, I don't know why I bookmarked this one, but I did. But they credit World of Real, but it was actually an article on Variety, I think, was where she said this. Let me see, where was it at?
Is it for the 28 years later sequel she's going to be working on?
I think it might have been.
I'm going to send you a tweet that's also kind of surrounded around this topic.
Okay. Hold on. So no, it was Hollywood Reporter. It was right. Yeah, it was Hollywood Reporter. So I have my own thoughts on why the Marvels underperformed and was the biggest dud that Marvel has ever done. And I don't think it has a lot to do with, so are we talking financially or creatively? Because I have the numbers in front of me.
If it's financial, probably you got me, but I would say creatively, I'm not trying to say I'm going to watch them again unless someone pays me to do it. But I'd rather watch the Marvels over Love and Thunder, even though I understand they both hit the bottom of my list.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Okay, so the total overall money that this film made was a little over $200 million, and it had a $370 million investment. So this is the biggest issue that Marvel's ever had in terms of their films. Now, that's not arguing on quality. Let's pull this back in. I'm not going to argue on quality. I enjoy the Marvels. I think the Marvels is a fun movie. It's probably one of the most comic book movies that Marvel had done in, was it phase 4 or phase 5?
That was 5.
5. Yeah, so the 2 phases since Endgame ended. This was one of the ones that I felt. Plus, you have to really like the characters. I like all the characters, and I know some people don't, so I get that part.
When the three of them were together, I was in.
Yeah.
When they weren't, I was like, fucking, like, I was like, God help me, please, somebody do something.
Like,
and
Kamala was the only thing doing it for me in that movie.
Okay, and this is kind of what Nia's saying here, right? She goes, the lack of a solid script was one of the issues with the film. That's just going to wreak havoc on the whole process. There was a certain point when I was like, okay, this isn't going to be the movie that I pitched. So she wanted something else other than the final product. So this is an example of studio meddling, which I totally believe. I think they did go in and sort of have something to do, because you got to think, during this era, there were certain movies that they were kind of all in on and ones that they ignored. Like Thor: Love and Thunder was a different problem. Like that was one where the studio didn't do enough with fixing that movie, right? This is one where I think they overcorrected. Also, we have to remember, this is one of the only movies that heavily relied on watching the TV shows. Like, it really did. But there's other issues with the film, I think. So it says here, she remarked that the way the Marvel movies are made is very different from her ideal process. She acknowledged she had to lean into the process hardcore and just hope for the best. And the result wasn't what she had initially pitched or even shot, meaning that even in the editing room, things were done that she didn't necessarily agree with when she was working with Marvel. Darren, what did you share here? Let me see.
This came out a couple of days before this quote came out, and it sparked a large piece of conversation among fans.
Right.
And I sent a follow-up that Sean Chandler put out as well that I thought was interesting.
I don't, and I'm not saying this to you, Darren, I'm saying to the person who reposted this, I don't think you can compare those two things.
No, that's why I brought it up.
Okay, hold on. Let me see. So this is the one you shared here.
I don't agree with the person that we're talking
about. Is this the first one that you shared with me here? Okay.
Yeah.
Thunderbolts was fine and all, but still kind of crazy. Got to fail upwards when his movie flopped, but the Marvel's director basically got fed to the wolves for hers flopping.
Yeah.
So you wanted to, I guess you have a thought on this. Did you want to talk a little bit about it, or?
Well, yeah, like I think this was just kind of like a general conversation that was going around over like the last week or so, or last couple of days or so. And I think it is very interesting because I do think these are two very different situations, and I think the main one ultimately is one. It didn't seem like she was happy with what was happening at Marvel. It didn't seem like her experience was positive from the fans or from the studio. And secondly, I would say Thunderbolts was at least a critical success for Marvel.
Right. I mean, it helped that there was at least it helped that there was at least good word of mouth with that movie.
And Reese is right. Thunderbolts didn't flop.
No,
Thunderbolts wasn't a financial failure for Marvel. Thunderbolts is still going to do better. Like, I already did the math for the ROI, even without ancillary numbers. Thunderbolts still came over in the positive on return on investment.
Yeah.
Marvel's lost money. Captain America 4 actually lost money for Marvel as well. Thunderbolts did not.
Yeah, and like I look at it, and you guys have heard me say this before. With the Thunderbolts, what was the Thunderbolts about? It's about a bunch of people who have problems, and they slowly, not all the way, address it, and they at the end come back just to help each other and lend a hug. With the Marvels, it was another, in my opinion, it came off as another world-ending event. And when you have a lot of these stories back to back, people don't feel the weight, people don't connect, and people don't connect. There goes the word of mouth. There goes the sickness to go out. And I hope Marvel's not trying to do if we could do it with Guardians, we could do it with any other B, C, D list group or character we could do it not, because that's not the point of it. The point is that like lightning the bottle lined up perfectly at the last second right before the movie came out. And then it garnered a franchise. And I look at the Marvels now, and again, this is the film that finally made me like, oh, and not that I was always, running into the pitchfork for Brie and whatnot, but I was just like, in the Captain Marvel, I didn't connect with her as Carol, but it was the Marvels, ironically enough, that I did.
Agreed.
And it was just like, I just wish, and I feel bad because, she has family with the MCU, that I care for the antagonist. And I wish that they would have, honed in more on the three individuals and be like, no, it's not about world ending. It's about like, how does Monica and Carol mean to each other, and how does that reflect on Kamala, who sees them as as heroes or people that she looks up to, and it's just like we gotta set the tone right for the kid, but we have to deal with our stuff as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, man, it's
that's one of the things I appreciate the most with Thunderbolts is that it's actually, you know, it's about something. It's got something to say, and instead of a lot of these,
but I also want
kind of like them. Hold on, I'm on a roll for a second. Sorry. Yeah. One of the things where the Marvels they tried to go superficially bigger, and a lot of these Marvel movies that underperformed or flopped, a lot of them tried to go superficially bigger, whereas Thunderbolts and a handful of other ones, it went deeper instead of going bigger. Yeah. And you were able to resonate with a lot more of your audiences that way because, you know, who here in the audience, you know, none of us can ever relate to, you know, like stopping, you know, this apocalyptic world-ending threat in our spare time. Or maybe you guys can't. Maybe that's just me. Anyway. But, like, we can all relate to going through, you know, like struggles with mental health, struggles with, you know, like things that we have in our past that have held us back. So when you make those themes that your audience can relate with, that, you know, it sits with your audience and it generates word of mouth because then not only does your film have something to say, your audience has something to say.
And I think they were like, I think the Marvels was close in a lot of categories. Like, I think their food was on the kitchen table. I just think they forgot to put in a couple of ingredients to
I also think the not only did they like not they marketed badly instead of having like Captain
There
Marvel.
was no marketing. There was no marketing.
It was writer strike season.
Yeah. Captain Marvel 2, it was poorly like titled, and it just like if the branding was off, and then also there is no marketing, so basically they were.
It also the strike affected it as well. So
yeah.
I would have been curious to see because there was, you know, supposedly this whole, you know, original different style for the movie that adapted kind of like a Disney princess sort of aesthetic to it. And I wonder, you know, would that have made for a better movie? I mean, probably not, but it would have had more of a distinct identity. And, you know, maybe it would have drawn in some more of those Disney fans. Maybe it would have made more money that way.
I also want to point out that, and we all do this. I don't think there's anything like it's not like a major offense or anything, but superhero movies being a subgenre of other types of movies, we have to understand that not all superhero movies are comparable, right? Like, so you can't compare some, like everybody goes, oh, The Dark Knight. That's like the pinnacle one where they compare every fucking superhero movie to it.
Hear that example one more goddamn time, I swear.
Right, you can't. So, like, I understand the point they're making, but I think the issue here is that it's not just a difference in movies. It's also a difference in style. It's a difference in vibe. It's just completely different things. Now, I'm not saying that Jake is the best choice for the X-Men. I really like Thunderbolts. I really like Thunderbolts.
Jake's not.
Well, I didn't say Joypad Jake, but, you know.
I mean, I would have been fine if you said that too.
Thunderbolts was...
Go ahead, Eric.
I was saying, Thunderbolts was one of my favorite Marvel movies in recent times, because I think it did have a really cool vibe to it. It felt like I was watching an old school Marvel movie, and that's what everybody kept asking for, and then Marvel gives it to them and they don't want to fucking eat it. Like, it's just crazy to me. And then Fantastic Four, again, a really solid movie, doing better than I think Thunderbolts did in terms of public feedback and everything, but Thunderbolts still solid movie. And I'm curious, they're saying now that 50 million is like the average amount of money that you can make back on a film going back to VOD, which means that Thunderbolts, you can tack on like the lowest number at 50 million to whatever the box office is, and that's what these movies end up doing when they go to VOD. That's typically the number that we're looking at.
But I like that you mentioned that, because I feel that like you have this pull up right now of Jake and the X-Men. I honestly, I'm pumped for it. I'm not too worried right now, although people who are worried about that movie, I get it. But if Kevin, if Marvel, anybody's watching this and they have, I'm not saying you have to do exactly what I'm saying, but just hear something that you wouldn't hear at your usual Disney meeting or whatnot.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is this: the first X-Men movie you do with the new cast and you're building the new era of the X-Men, please don't make it a world-ending event.
Oh yeah.
Don't use the usual suspects. To be quite
Apocalypse,
frank,
first movie, Apocalypse Returns.
Yeah,
it's like, what the
no, that is, if you do that, that is your Thanos.
Hell, I don't even necessarily want to see Wolverine yet, and you know how much I love Wolverine.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like, you know what you should do? 50% of the time in the damn school, and then go to either the mall or go save a block. Just save a block, and we will give a shit about these characters.
It's taken us 4 Spider-Man movies to get the Spider-Man movie we should have got in the beginning. So you're there.
Yeah.
We have a couple super chats, then we're going to look at the other tweet you sent me. Screwface Caboni with a $5 super chat. Thank you for supporting the stream. I'll say this about the Marvels. I knew from the jump the movie wasn't going to take itself seriously, and it didn't, so I enjoyed it. I agree with, look, I'm a little bit softer when it comes to the Marvels, when it, like, in terms of, like, how much I'm giving the movie shit or whatever. I thought it was a fun movie. Did it break the mold? Did it do something amazing? No, it was just a fun superhero movie, and that's the way I looked at it. I know that some people's bar is going to be higher, and I get that, and everybody's entitled to their opinion. There are Marvel movies and TV shows that I absolutely don't like. The Marvels for me is like right above that average bar. I think it's a little bit better than average for me. It's not an 8 out of 10. It's not a 9 out of 10. I think it's somewhere just above the middle. It could have been better. I think Nia DaCosta could have done more with the movie if she would have given more space. I actually think, even though I love Ms. Marvel and I love Monica, I would have loved to have seen just a proper sequel for Captain Marvel, like her being a space cop, like the Green Lantern thing where she's flying around being a space cop. Doing that and not having to tie into the TV shows. One of the biggest issues I have with all of this is that because Bob Chapek wanted to do the TV show crossover stuff with movies so hardcore, we sacrificed what could have been another big, huge hit for Brie Larson as Captain Marvel to try and do something different. They took a risk. People say Marvel doesn't take risk. They took a big fucking risk, and it cost them.
They took the same risk twice, basically, because like Thunderbolts was like the branding was really New Avengers, and they used Thunderbolts as the branding, which failed. And then they also did Marvels, which was supposed to be Captain.
Should have been Captain Marvel too.
Yeah, they took the same risk twice.
Got a better example. After the first Avengers comes out, they take a risk by announcing the bottom of the barrel comic book team,
Guardians of the Galaxy,
are getting a movie. No one except the diehard comic readers knew who those people were, and it ended up being one of, if not the most successful trilogy in the whole franchise.
I also think, Maestro, you're onto something here. I don't think the movie would have been $1 billion movie as the Marvels, but I think it would have done better than $200 million if it would have had proper promotion. Because look, they could have actually, because they put Ms. Marvel on ABC prior to the movie coming out to try and help it out. But the problem is you had none of those stars of the movie being able to promote the movie. It was essentially like they dropped it and no one knew about it. That was one of the big issues they had with it.
And the people that knew about it, religiously check AMC and stuff like that, the theaters. Yeah. So that's how they found out.
We got a $9.99 super chat from Staggervort. Thank you for supporting the show. Based on the fact that most of the Fox X-Men actors are going to be in Avengers Doomsday, could those same group of actors be in the MCU X-Men films, or do you think they'll cast 100% casting new people?
They've already said it's a young cast of characters. It's a new young cast of characters.
This is like their farewell movie.
Yes.
Yeah, let me get that other the tweet up here.
While you're just kind of pulling it up, I do just want to bring up, I am not blaming Nia for the failure of the Marvels. I think, people see a tweet like that and me bringing it up, and I don't want it to feel like I'm throwing her under the rug. Actually, I'd argue she's actually probably one of the strongest points of that movie. Within the movie, when you see the direction style of the movie, there's that fantastic fight scene inside the living room, and they're all swapping places, and the way people are moving. That's incredible. And if we just had a little bit more of that, I want to see the movie that she wanted to direct, and that goes for so many Marvel movies in the last couple of years, where I want to see, without creative overhaul, without you cutting and pasting and blah blah blah. Yeah. What did the director want to make?
Yeah, the only time that a choice of verse, I think it was a choice of verse. The only time that it really I was oh Nia, what? Come on, this must have been a different take. Was when Carol comes back realizing Monica's gone. For her, she's either gone or dead, and she comes back to Kamala, and she doesn't break down. And I was waiting for that. I wasn't getting emotional, but I was feeling for her, and I was just break down and then let Kamala hug you, and it was she just stood there and got hugged, and I was just oh man, you missed the mark right there. But no, but I agree with Dan. I don't fully blame Nia at all. It just even before going into the movie, you know, you don't live in a vacuum. We keep hearing how much the budget kept going, and people kept messing around with it and whatnot. And like, it's sad. It's the sad part for us fans is that we're seeing it played out in live.
Yeah,
and like we don't live in a vacuum.
And honestly, with what some of those movies ended up being, it makes you really go back and wonder, you know, if after they go through their fixes or their creative reshoots or their adjustment periods. I'm going to use this as an example. Captain America: Brave New World. After that movie goes through what they called corrective reshoots, and we got the movie that we got. What exactly that were they trying to fix that wasn't working, and that we got the result that we got?
Yeah,
I would say with Captain America 4, they were probably trying to remove the stuff that had Sabra in it. That's most likely.
Like all the Seth Rollins stuff.
Yeah. Well, there's a lot of characters that got taken out of it. Actually,
Well, I
that
mean,
was the third act. So.
Well, also you have your character that's giving you a lot of the exposition and taking you through a lot of the plot. When you think about it, is a character added through reshoots a year after principal photography is done.
Yeah.
And that first scene you see him, I was relatively surprised. I was like, okay, this is seamless, but it's a lot easier to reshoot the beginning of a movie to set you off rather than reshooting the middle, trying to duct tape.
Yeah, 100%.
I will forever be pissed that, and not that it's their fault directly, but that both Sam Wilson lead projects were chopped up in post-production.
Yeah,
the real world issues it.
So Staggervore, I also want to point out that it's probably going to be for financial reasons too. They want to bring the budgets of these movies down. So one of the ways of doing that is not hiring these actors that have been in the industry forever. Yeah, and almost everyone attached to the X-Men franchise is going to cost them a lot of money to bring them.
Do you think they regret casting big stars for Fantastic Four?
Maybe. I don't know. I like the cast. I like the cast of Fantastic Four. So I don't know financially. Maybe. I don't know. Sean Chandler here was chiming in a little bit on the same tweet and says, one, Marvel's cost twice as much and made half as much as Thunderbolts. True. Marvel's made 1/5 of what its predecessors did. True. Also, I see that he didn't point out the whole strike thing. That was a big issue. Is the writer director strike that was going on? That was
kind of a given.
Yeah. The Marvels has 1/2 the Rotten Tomato scores of Thunderbolts. DaCosta has publicly stated she didn't like working in that system. That's a big thing. One. Like, if she doesn't want to be there, I don't think we should be advocating for her to be there. Right. DaCosta was given a 28 Days movie, which she's going to feel better working on because it's not part of a big machine. So that's good. Look, some directors don't want to work in that environment, and that's okay. They can make other movies.
Yeah, they don't want to work on something that's being overseen by a parliament.
I've said it for a while, and I hope Marvel's getting better, Disney's getting better. A lot of these big Disney projects, they're not directing the movie. They are producing the movie. They have insight, but it is ultimately Kevin Feige and the big higher ups being like,
the Parliament is directing the movie. Yeah.
And
because you can see in so many interviews, I remember vividly, there was more than one interview where David Harbour was talking about some of the changes that was done whenever they were filming Black Widow. And without being specific, he would always refer to, these changes as, well, they just wanted this and they made all these changes.
Yeah.
They, in that statement, is in reference to the big parliament up here that likes to play mix and match with a lot of these pieces and doesn't really care how they fit together.
Yeah. I really caught on to that. This isn't Marvel, this is Disney as a whole, but with the 2019 Lion King. John Favreau came in there and did Jungle Book, and I was like, "Oh, this is going to be an incredible Lion King movie."
Did he do that movie too?
He did Lion King 2019, and I look at that movie and was like, "That was not John Favreau. John Favreau did not do that. That was the executives just kind of pushing him in a direction." And you can tell with Barry Jenkins that it felt like they let him do a lot more with Mufasa because it wasn't like a take on one of their most iconic stories. But I think with some of these projects, they're like, no, it has to be like this. So stay on this path and make the best movie that you can. And that is so anti-art to me. And I'm never a huge fan of that.
I still haven't seen Mufasa. I've been meaning to. I still haven't.
It's not groundbreaking, but I think it's fun.
The most catchy song is something about brother.
Just from watching one of those trailers, I thought that the concept of them, going into the time frame of the start of Lion King 2, and then basically having that whole movie be just like a story that's being told. I'm like, oh, that's a really easy way to place that movie at a part of the timeline. Really easy way to do that.
If you can get past the visuals of it, I actually think it's a really solid movie. Like, if you make that just like an animated movie, I actually think it's like pretty awesome. I think it's pretty.
I was even talking to you about this too. I'm surprised they haven't done more in that world.
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to get into some really controversial stuff. Someone said this to me, and this is one of the main topics. So two of them were the Marvels, and this is the other one. And then we're going to talk a little bit about James Gunn. And
I know what
this is one of the main ones. And I do realize that people are going to have different opinions about this, but let's just talk about the actual topic, and we'll see if the chat goes crazy. I feel like the chat might go crazy on this one, but we'll see what happens. All right, so Chris Pratt decided that he was going to chime in. We're not going to read the whole. It's a long state. We're not going to read the whole thing, right? Okay. So Chris Pratt decided he was going to chime in on RFK. No, I didn't forget the game trailer. We're going to do some fun stuff. I'm putting this up now so that everything after this can be the fun. We can talk about the fun stuff. He had to say about RFK Jr. Now, if you don't know, I don't have a very positive opinion about RFK Jr. I think he is detrimental to health in this country, and it's not. He can do whatever the fuck he wants to do. Like, that's absolutely fine. But I think he's doing things that are detrimental to the health of other people, and that's where I have an issue with it. Anyway, so Chris Pratt jumped in on here, and he goes, I think he's great. He's, by the way, I want to point out none of these things are qualifications for the job that he has, right? I think he's great. He's funny. He's wonderful. I love him. Okay, great. You can absolutely do that. That might be your experience with him. When you jump on the bandwagon, not bandwagon in the administration, but okay, when you jump on the bandwagon with the most divisive president ever, it makes sense that you're going to be made to look terrible. So he's suggesting that RFK Jr. is just on the bandwagon. He's a nice guy. He's just on the bandwagon. And because he's associated with Trump, they're trying to make him look bad. It's not things that he's doing himself. It's just that they're making him look bad. I don't even know why even get, like, this is why I appreciate celebrities that sometimes just have nothing to say. Right. The ones that have nothing to say. Like, look, I think it's fine if you want to advocate for something you're positive about, but this quote is crazy. Let me explain to you one more time why it's crazy. He is not just hanging around Trump. He's part of the administration affecting healthcare of everybody in this country. So I don't give a fuck if you think he's great and he's funny and he's wonderful and you love him. I don't care about that. My opinion of him as an individual person doesn't fucking matter. He's part of the administration. And the fact that Chris Pratt, let me just run through quickly, very briefly, on controversies. So he was associated apparently with Hillsong Church. The actress, what is it? Zoe Church or whatever, which is associated with anti-LGBTQ teachings. The pastor's got ties to Hillsong. Calls gay people sexually broke. He had the Gadsden flag T-shirt, which is the "Don't Tread on Me" shirt, which is at the time was part of an alt-right organization. Pratt encouraged fans to vote for his film Onward in a 2020 People's Choice Award post using forced humor. "Vote or you will die," which was apparently some joke at the time about an election post. He follows Ben Shapiro, Tucker Carlson, and Dan Crenshaw on social media, which
this is RFK, right? Or is this Chris?
This is Chris.
Oh wow, okay.
But I want to point out, just following people doesn't necessarily mean that you agree with them. Yeah. I'm trying to throw a bone here. I don't know why. I just felt compelled to do that. Pratt's God is Real speech sparked discussions about religion in Hollywood, leading social media to brand him as the worst Chris among his peers. I didn't know about that. In the mid-2010s, what was that?
I said, not my favorite Chris.
Yeah. In the mid-2010s, Pratt became internet fodder, compared unfavorably to other celebrities named Chris. Criticism touched on everything from personal life to perceived political neutrality. So at that time, he was trying to be politically neutral, I guess, or whatever.
Me and Darren are laughing at the same thing.
Basically, he's been covered in controversy about this, about his life and everything and stuff. Look, I talk about this a lot. There's some celebrities that are very outspoken about it. Chris Pratt had a lot of controversy around him, but I was always like, you know what? Any of that could be explained away. Anything that I just mentioned could be explained away in one way or another. This cannot. This is literally him trying to make it seem like RFK Jr. is just some fun-loving family member that you love that says weird things. Like, that's not what's happening here.
Oh, so much for that Mario Bros sequel.
Can I, no. Hey, what's the matter with your head? Yeah. Listen. When I see some celebrities who are already outspoken and supportive of stuff that matters to me, I kind of feel like, okay, they're probably a good egg. I really hope if I ever meet them, or I hope I don't find out that they're dickheads in real life. When I see some celebrities who don't, and I'm not saying they have to be supportive or outspoken in every major stuff, but in some stuff that like you can't just look away and just be like, not my issue, not my problem.
Yeah.
If I don't see them outspoken, I kind of more or less think, they probably got right now.
You wonder if they're not saying anything because they have some controversial shit going on, right?
Either that or they're just taking their bank account, which I'm like, you know what? That's where you and I just walk different paths in this world. And like, listen, a lot of these people, there's someone who I find very attractive who I recently has been under a lot of flow. And it's just like, I didn't expect that person to, think like me in some regards, just because of where I think they live, and also just they've been very hush hush on stuff that's been happening in the world. And again, I see a lot of stuff. I'm aware of a lot of stuff, but am I always posting stuff? No, but it doesn't mean that I don't negate that like there's a lot of issues with us and just like hang out. And like you said, this isn't a guy who's part of the family or a second, a part of the whole family that had the podcast. He's like, just a crazy uncle. And I was like, no, this guy is in charge of stuff that's going to affect us right now and the next 10 years. But again, not his problem, not his issue, which is why it kind of breaks my heart. I've never met Chris Pratt. He seems like a nice, decent person, or so I thought. For the most part, I don't know. I'd have to like move back to LA to start hearing stuff, because a lot of these actors and big, high profile people don't realize they're like, oh yeah, y'all get paid, y'all get, the posters and the interviews, but people in the crew built the stuff and they talk about stuff and we remember stuff. So if you're shady, we're not gonna forget that. And like, again, Star-Lord, a big part of Star-Lord, not all of it, big part of Star-Lord means a lot to me because of how much he loves music.
Yeah.
And again,
great
character. I see this stuff happening and it breaks my heart sometimes, because I'm like, wow, I didn't expect these people to be saints, but I would at least hope they would have some common sense and be like, there's some stuff has gone too far, no pun intended. And let's shake things up and scale it back more, because it's clearly not working. And again, it's the same stuff with like Stallone and other stuff. It just breaks my heart, because I'm like, I looked up to them, but I'm like, wow, I really got to check myself sometimes, especially if I want to work in this industry.
Yes, that's correct. That is the familial connection there. But Roni, you said a lot of good stuff there. I do want to point out, this is one of those times where maybe it is better to know what someone thinks. You know what I mean? Like, maybe it is one of those times where somebody needs to come clean about it, because here's the issue. What I feel is so spectacularly interesting about this entire, it's much more to it. Again, there's a lot being said over there about this from him, is that he believes that it's safe enough socially for him to just say this and there's going to be no backlash. That's the bigger picture, I think, because Chris Pratt is somebody who I would consider, maybe I'm wrong, you guys can tell me, I think Chris Pratt is like one of those A-list guys. Like, he gets a lot of really prestigious roles and things. If an A-lister feels very comfortable doing this and kind of whatevering our health secretary, who went on the record saying don't listen to me for health advice, literally said it on the record. He seems to be pushing all that under the rug. It makes me wonder if he believes that like all of this is okay, and that's the issue I have with it.
That's what's breaking my heart. That I'm like, dude, like, again, for those who don't know, I'm a son of immigrant. I think what's going on right now with ICE is fucking disgraceful. I think right now we could be a great country. We haven't been for a while, and it looks like it's going to be harder to recuperate that stuff. That's me saying that, and he shouldn't be afraid to share this. But like you said, it's like, dude, before you post this, check yourself one last time. Do you really believe in this? Do you really want to associate with this? And if he does, that's his choice. I'm not here saying he can't believe it. I'm like, dude, you maybe not get the repercussion now, but history will remember stuff.
Yeah. But my last thoughts on this about the whole ICE thing is because it's funny you mentioned that we're talking about Dean Cain. We're not talking about Dean Cain.
Again, like that.
Yeah, but you know we have
more attention than
we have Star-Lord and Superman and Shazam all like on the wrong side of everything here. But I want to point out that I did see. Let's drop this down. I can't look at this anymore.
They all had that turncoat.
No, I saw that. Go ahead, Jake. Sorry.
People were just saying that Chris Pratt is becoming Marvel's Zachary Levi. I was like, Marvel already had Zachary Levi.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
And again, it's like the whole thing because I knew he was a religious man, and so I figured, okay, he probably is not gonna show up to a lot of my relatives' weddings if I ask him because they're same sex or not. And like again, I'm not expecting him to think that way. I'm straight, but I don't close out the rest of the world or don't just disband stuff. And I'm not saying he's doing that, but like it's the same thing I have people feel about a lot of to bring it back to us, people who do videos and do YouTube, big or small, doesn't matter. My mother always says who you hang out with, how you dress yourself, how you speak yourself says a lot about you, and how people will either choose to hang out with you, choose to consider you a friend, choose to consider you an ally, choose to see you as a good person, or not even good, but just a decent person. And again, I never met Chris. If I ever met him in person, who knows how I would interact. I would like to shake a hand, but I also worry like, wow, am I if I meet shaking his hand, does that mean in 5 minutes somebody's gonna come chasing me in a van and put a bag over my head? I don't know. That's the world we live in now.
I don't know if you've seen though that Marines are actually standing up now against the masked ICE agents. We're seeing them come out and stand up against them and saying like, if you want to do your job, take your fucking mask off, have badges, and do the job the way you're supposed to do it.
I consider that patriotism.
Yeah.
I think Chris Pratt, I think, has been in a weird place in Hollywood the last couple of years because he's always kind of been like surrounded by controversy, but none of it's been provable. Like it's just kind of been like one little thing here and there. I think we've said this, and I feel like we can't not get political when it comes to this.
I know that's the unfortunate thing is we didn't used to have to do this. We didn't have to do it on the stream.
Because back then we had some decency of like, you know what, this is probably wrong, this is probably right. Now the inmates run the joint. Like look at it now, and not I'm not trying to be on my stance and whatnot. And I'll let Darren go, but like, how can you look now? And like, I don't blame people in Europe or in other countries laughing at us. It's a fucking cartoon. We are a cartoon now.
Yeah, it's like, since when did the nut take over the nut house?
No, like it's since November, it's been socially acceptable to be a horrible person.
Yeah.
And then we're seeing that at each of the examples we mentioned is that people being more comfortable, more outgoing to be able to say some of the stuff. And like, I'll be honest, like again, I don't know the guy, but like I would assume him and like many others, it's this like, well, this is kind of how I was brought up, or like
that's the crazy thing is that this is probably how they were all along. They didn't change. This is just who they are.
And like I want to be able to give those people like a second chance to be like, oh, maybe he just didn't realize. Let's sit him down. But when you're that famous and that rich, there's not much.
He has a lot of people in his orbit that are gay and Latino and people that he knows. Like, there's no way that he doesn't experience that being part of the movie industry. You know what I'm saying? And
on the whole, thing too, because I just thought about this, and somebody even brought it up in the comments about being glad that the army isn't a lost cause. I've always been somebody who like I support the people who actually fight the good fight and don't abuse the power that they're given.
Yeah.
Because I get a little bit personal here, but like these got them right here. These tags that I carry around with me, these are my granddad's tags. I carry them around with me every day since he passed, and I can recognize whenever somebody is fighting the good fight, or whenever someone is on this power-hungry trip and just wanting to abuse any seep of power they can get their hands on. And what the people of Red Ice are doing, they are trying to rule this country with an iron fist, rule it as a dictator, and that is not... You find me anywhere that is listed as... I can't even fucking believe I'm saying this, but for everybody who wants to, bring up the whole thing in today's modern society of, like, oh, like, what is this, traditional American way? Find me anywhere that is listed as an American way, and then we'll have a conversation.
Yeah.
I bring it back to what the whole matter was with RFK and Chris. I'm like, right now, I'm lucky right now. I'm not too sick, but I feel my heart goes out to anybody who's very sick. And it's just like, where are we at now with like how much health is at risk and how people's perception of truth and just facts is. Right now, again, I looked at we used to go to graphic novels and comics and show like the Twilight Zone as warnings to showcase this stuff. And like the last thing I'll say is this. I'll be laughing my fucking ass off if come X-Men movie and either someone in the crew, someone in the cast swings a certain way and doesn't realize, like, what you're working on is about, a brighter future. Like, I'd be laughing my ass off like a jackass and be like really nobody checked that, like, listen, this is an allegory. It's a cool sci-fi thing, but there's more to it. And
I would be right there with you, Ron, because I mean, like, those characters were created as an allegory for like racial tensions at the time. They were made as an allegory of people who are different in the world. I mean, quite literally, that's how mutants are perceived, as being different in the world. And there's a lot of real world, connotations that has.
Yeah.
Thanks again, Jose, by the way. Shout out to 100 episodes. 100 episodes of the best late night podcast in the entire fucking universe. At least I've been told. I don't know if it's true or not, but
can I just add one
go ahead.
That I do want to bring up one of the more, I won't say interesting part of it, but I guess more important parts of it, where like a lot of people are like, well, is Chris Pratt going to get fired? Is he going to lose this job or this job? I don't think he will. At least not for just the.
I don't think that statement is blatantly bad enough for him to like lose jobs, but
it's not Zellweger bad.
And especially I think in this modern age, this stuff is being more celebrated, and I think studios are more, I guess, lenient of being like, oh yeah, that's fine. Like if we can elect governmental officials who have said worse, I think unfortunately now this kind of gets a pass.
What is it that Magneto said? He's like,
oh, that great speech!
Most people won't, elect criminals to be their leaders. Yeah. Why did they let their leaders be criminals?
Yeah. So good.
Okay, so I want to address this, and then we're going to do all the super chats, and then we're going to decide what the bonus thing is going to be tonight. Also, we'll watch the trailer for the Lego Batman as well. Harrison James here says, very true, Jake. Most characters were created by the marginalized in the first place.
Yep.
Look who created these characters. Bunch of Jewish guys. Jewish guys.
I want to point out, and this is going to make a lot of people upset if you're one of the... we have a few people hate watching. It's probably going to make them upset. But most superheroes, if not all superheroes, are social justice warriors. Yeah. Almost all of them are. Because they are doing something for the greater good. Usually not just because they're doing it out of the goodness of their heart because they want the world to be a better place. And they're saving people that can't save themselves. That is literally like a social justice warrior in flesh, like in action. Every character that is doing something for a large corporation or the government is an authoritarian superhero, usually a supervillain, that is there to enforce the rule of law and not there to help people.
And so yes, everybody that's hate watching right now, social justice was a term long before the connotation that you're giving it came around.
Yeah.
Just like really, really quickly, like I think it's really funny you can come out of projects this year, and watch like Wilson Fisk or Lex Luthor and be like, yeah, they're the bad guy. And it's like,
right.
Are you not paying attention to who you voted for? Because there's not that big of a jump in between them.
I actually blame, you know what? This is going to start this week on the channel. I actually had to think about what kind of content I want to make on my Reloaded channel because I don't really have a lot of daily content. I'm going to start covering a lot of the videos that come out that reinforce the bad, process that people use in reviewing media, like CinemaSins and stuff like that. Like all of these channels have really lowered the bar for media literacy where people just don't understand what they're watching or what the context is. I feel like we live in a dumbed down world because of a lot of these channels on YouTube that have pretty much destroyed any sort of understanding of what art is and how to consume art. I actually think one of the biggest failures in our school system in this country is not more advocacy for the arts in general and allowing people to understand everything from music to art to painting to acting, All of that. I believe all of that should be pushed a lot more. And I think the issue is we're seeing, especially in a lot of states, the pulling back on funding of the arts is causing a lot of these problems with media literacy and understanding art. And it's by design. That's my tinfoil hat theory. But
it is going to be a great time, everybody. You're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, exactly. 199 from Staggervore. At least Hulk is on the right side of history. Well, you know.
Yeah.
I saw a clip from Mark Ruffalo, speaking of the Hulk, where he spoiled Infinity War in an interview with, I can't remember who it was, but it was a clip. He was
Don Cheadle was with him.
Yeah, it was Don Cheadle. That's right. Yeah. Yeah, that was funny. Yeah.
Well, wait, and you know what? Actually, going back to see that, if you think about it, he saved the spoiler, because if you go back and watch that clip, he goes, wait till you see this next one. He goes, everybody dies. He almost says half, but then...
Well, he did say half of them comes back. He said that.
Well, no, I'm saying in that interview, he goes, wait till you see this next one. He cuts off before he finishes the word half, because half the people do die in that movie.
Right.
And then everybody is the cover.
That was the one interview where I don't believe that was I don't think that was a marketing thing. I think he really did just say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
and it's
you could see the look on Don Cheadle's face. You're like, dude.
But it's also funny because it's like people almost the interviewer probably didn't fully believe it. Like, nah, they probably wouldn't do that. And then you go watch the movie and you're like, oh, fuck, they actually did that.
They were looking at everything Holland said for a spoiler.
Shout out to Jose here with the $5 super chat, contributing to my computer fund. I'm going to need it because I don't know how much longer this thing is going to last. We hit the goal. Yes, thank you guys so much. In the Reloaded channel, we did hit the goal. So thank you guys, everybody that contributed. Everybody should watch K-pop Demon Hunters. By the way, speaking of that, this is probably in the nightclub. I play primarily EDM and stuff. So at the club that I work in, I have had so many requests for Golden from Huntrix, which is hilarious to me. I play it sometimes twice a night because people are requesting it so much. And Soda Pop by the Sanji Boys or whatever. So those two things being as big as they are is absolutely insane. Sony dropped the ball on this because it was going to be a Sony movie. And they didn't believe in it, so they sold it to Netflix.
Yeah, and now it's one of their most successful movies they've ever had.
I think it's second in the list of the most successful movies they've had. I think Red 1 is still the number one, right? Isn't that the number one movie?
But you know what? Shout out to them for putting it in theaters this week. It seems like they're giving it screeners. They're letting people see it on the big screen as it should probably be seen, and hopefully. Because, they've already said they're doing sequels and spin-offs and, other various things surrounding it.
This is going to be a massive IP for Netflix. They just really cashed in on this. And also, I didn't realize this, but I had to check. Apparently, the people or the actors of the movie, I didn't even look at who the voice actors were, the singers or whatever. They're all part of, K-pop groups. I didn't know that. Yeah. So that's kind of cool.
It's proof. I've never listened to any K-pop. I've never watched any. I
like Blackpink or Cat's Eye.
I knew nothing. I knew absolutely nothing. I was like, well, I'm gonna watch this movie because it's getting so much praise. I was like, this is the first time I've ever experienced it at all. So I think that's a good praise on them to how outside of their normal reach it's reaching to the casual audience.
Yeah. Oh, hold on. We got another one up here I wanted to look at first. Actually, we'll do this one now. $2 from Cameron. There's a new Call of Duty Black Ops 7 trailer. I don't play a lot of... Does anybody play Call of Duty?
I do.
Black Ops game?
We will... remind me after we do our list. We might take a look at it at the very end. By the way, I wanted to say, because somebody mentioned in the chat, anybody that's watching now, if you're on the Discord server, go into the server and drop your choices for what should be on the list in the Nerdcast recommended tab, the channel. So what was funny about that?
Sorry. I sent him a thing.
Oh, okay.
I'm sorry.
Go into the Discord server. I'll drop the link one more time here. Go into the Discord server if you're not already a member and look for the suggestions in the Nerdcast section and put in some options for the poll because we hit the goal. And I'm going to go ahead and do that right after we're done with the super chats.
It's right under Rant Against Eric.
Yeah, right under that one. Right under that one. Here we got $5 from Jose says, my favorite Chris is Chris Evans. Mm-hmm. Okay.
My favorite Chris is Christopher Lambert.
My favorite is Chris Hemsworth. So there we go. Not the one from
My-
Endgame, but all the other ones.
My favorite Chris is Chris Kringle.
$2 super chat from Lone Wolf. DM you on Twitter. Curious if we can review it on Twitter. Okay, I'll check Twitter in a second. Thank you, Lone Wolf. $4.99 from Staggervore. Thank you for contributing as well. On a scale of 1 to 10, how likely will Spider-Man appear in Avenger 10?
10.
I'm gonna say 10, and that's a broad stroke to all of them. Because if it's not Tom, it's Andrew. If it's not Andrew, it's
There's no way they're going to do that movie without a Spider-Man.
There's
a Spider-Man, right? I don't know which one, but I think a Spider-Man will appear in Doomsday.
That's been my pitch. I've mentioned that on multiple streams. I think it'd be so hilarious if they were like, listen, Tom's filming a movie. He's very busy with Odyssey. Andrew, do you want to just, come on in, film a couple scenes? We can put you in the trailer. Everything.
I mean, he lied about being in the movie once. So like, all right, you held out for that long. Now we need you to do it again.
I think that'd be really fun to like show a Spider-Man like in the trailer for Doomsday, and people don't know which one it is. It's like
that would be
everyone.
Cool. Right, like you see a hand shooting a web or something off camera.
Yes,
you can't exactly see who.
It would be crazy.
It's Tom, but it's like, oh, plot twist. And like in the movie, he takes off his mask. It's Andrew. Was like, what the hell are you doing?
It'd be crazy if there's like
exactly how they set it up in No Way Home. Whenever the thing opens and you see a Spider-Man in the alley, you're like, wait, that's not Tom Holland's costume. Yeah. And then they set it up just like that.
Yeah, like Jake said, it would be kind of cool, like to have like just a random like Spider-Man costume that doesn't resemble something that's previously happened before. Yeah. And it's kind of like goes up for like debate of who it is.
It could also be like they could have fun, like we're seeing multiple universes at play here. It could be a new one, right? Like not in like a huge role, but like let's say like the X-Men universe.
What they could do Miles. What if they do? What if we finally see a live action version of the Spider-Verse Miles? We could get one in that, even if they.
Say we get this would never happen, but just hear me out. What if we get Oscar Isaac playing a live action Miguel O'Hara?
I mean, I wouldn't mind that actually.
What if we got Nicolas Cage as a Spider Noir?
I would freak the fuck out if Oscar came as Miguel O'Hara. I would freak the fuck out.
Well, think about this. They could have him as both characters, like two alternate versions of himself.
Yeah. Wait, what about Apocalypse? Wait, never mind.
No, not that one. He could be three. He could be three. So there we go.
I think Secret Wars is literally everybody. I think it's every major animated thing, every major, like I think there's going to be a scene where like we get like some like a wall breaks through and it's with and it's the X-Men just running through from the animated series. Like I think we're gonna have scenes like that. I think you're gonna have like the Spider-Verse people. I think you're gonna have like I think it's just I think you have to put everything on the table, and then we can go from there. We can stop. We can be like, all right, stop asking for people. You got literally everybody.
If that's the one thing they could get Ben Affleck to put on that costume again for, that'd be surprising.
If they get Toby and Hugh and the rest of the X-Men and the rest of the original FF together in one shot, I'd be like,
and
I've lived long enough to see this happen.
I'll even add on to that, throw Eric Bana's Hulk in there too.
Yes.
Why not? Why not?
I'm like, I lived long enough to see that happen.
Because our speculations.
What about Lou Ferrigno's Hulk?
Hey, I've met the guy. He's still in good shape to do it.
Yeah, he could. I've seen him. He's always at conventions, looking completely fucking strong and powerful every time.
But no, like our speculations. Those of us who were a little bit younger whenever those movies were coming out. Our speculations were running rampant of hey, when is that Spider-Man going to meet Wolverine and the rest of those guys? And there was going to be Wolverine was going to make an appearance in one of these Spider-Man movies. It didn't happen because they just weren't able to make ends meet. And then, of course, they had that blooper from the first X-Men movie where you see a guy in a Spider-Man costume running on set, that infamous thing. But no,
we could get Wolverine versus Hulk, Jake, in Doomsday.
Don't give me too much hope for that because I would love to see it. But you know what? If we get him in that original like Hulk 181 costume with the weird looking ears, I wouldn't mind that. But
I'm literally looking at a piece of original comic art I own of Wolverine Hulk fight right now. I'm literally looking right now. I'm like, that is on the line. And what did the Russo say? Let your imagination go. Like, oh.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, that was 2 years ago. He's 73 in that picture. Still looks great.
73?
Yeah, he's 73 in that picture. So he's like 75 now.
Yeah. Naruto here with a $5 super chat for Darren here. I will be sure to make sure Darren gets like pizza or something down the road. Darren, how are you liking the start of Doctor Who season 6?
I liked it a lot. Yeah, it was a 2-part episode. I don't know if I told you this, Eric. They took all of Doctor Who off streaming, so I went out and bought. It was like a 10-season box set for like $40. I was like, oh, that's an incredible deal.
All 10 seasons for $40?
It was the first 10 seasons, yeah. So it was like 4 different Doctors. It was like 200 odd episodes. I was like, that's a steal. I'm gonna get that.
Yeah. But, Darren, what did you send me?
We'll have to wonder.
I did send a little small thing from Culture Crave.
Yeah, I saw that. I got it open in a tab. Okay. Staggervore contributing again. Thank you guys so much for being very generous tonight. $4.99 from Staggervore. I can actually see Tom playing an evil version of Spider-Man in Doomsday with the alien suit. I mean, they could do... The thing about Doomsday that has me the most excited, considering all of the other controversy about it, is that they could do anything in Doomsday. We have no clue. Like Secret Wars, we have an idea of what that could be. They could be going with like the classic Secret Wars from 1 and 2 from the 80s. They could be doing the 2015 Secret Wars. We don't know. We have no idea which way they're going to go.
I would like it to be that classic Secret Wars, or if they wanted to do a combination of the two. The only thing that I worry about, I've been speculating this, but with RDJ's Doom, like that's going to be your big player. The more and more we get to this, I have a feeling, because before they even announced that RDJ was coming back as Doom for these, like just when we knew Secret Wars was happening, like back when it was still going to be the follow-up to Kang Dynasty, I was speculating all the way back then, are they going to bring in the Beyonder?
Right.
But
I would love to see the Beyonder. I think that would be great.
I would love to also, but with RDJ as Doom, do we think there's a chance for that now?
Can I be honest? Like I don't think the MCU is going to adapt any specific Secret Wars comic. You know what I mean? Like I think like there's going to be like the general idea, but I think what the MCU is really good at, it's like we're taking the title, we're taking a base concept, and we're going to do whatever the hell we want for the rest of it.
Yeah, because I mean they did that with Civil War. Basically, they did that.
Infinity
with
War as well, kind of, right?
I think.
I mean, kinda. I mean,
I think if you go like completely off the rails, you get Secret Invasion. So I hope they don't like go that far, like off script of what Secret Wars is about. Because we will get Secret Invasion.
Oh, don't bring up Secret Invasion, please. All right. So, let's see here. We'll bring up 3Dubs thing for a second. Then we're going to watch that trailer. And while we're doing that, we have to figure out which one we're going to do because you guys...
I have one made for both, but...
Yeah,
I have one made for both too.
But I put in my preference earlier.
we will you know what we can do? We will do the Wheel of Doom. I'll put both choices on the Wheel of Doom and then we'll spin the wheel and see which one it lands on. Yeah.
It's going to not choose Jake's option.
I will be your Doom.
No. The Wheel of Doom will be our names and then we choose which one we want. So it'll spin it and then the person's name it lands on gets to pick what the
I saw this. This.
All right. Thoughts on this, guys? Any opinions on it?
I think he's a mole.
Not really. I'm glad you watched the movie.
Yeah, cool.
I love him as an actor, though. I think he's an absolute joy. I love him in Cobra Kai.
As never a character I thought I would see adapted in a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like it.
Because I remember reading him in the most obscure comic books. Whenever I was growing up, I was like, who the fuck is this guy?
What he says at the bottom is very interesting because he basically gave it 3 out of 5 stars only because they cut his scenes.
Oh.
Thank you.
Sorry, I just saw that. I wasn't on Discord till now.
Yeah, I mean, you know, like, I will say I do think I wish some of this more stuff was in there, because I think, especially his stuff in the third act, I think would have hit better if we got to see him more in the first act or even the second act, just to kind of build it. Not too much more, right? Because obviously he's not the star, but like a little bit more to create that narrative and that beef between Reed and Mo Man, and then Sue's dynamic with him. Actually, I think is one of my favorite aspects of the movie. I thought that was so wholesome and nice, but we don't get to see it, so that scene doesn't hit as hard as it needs to. But
I kind of wish we would have gotten, John Malkovich's character actually in this movie, because that man he does not have luck when it comes to Marvel movies, because he's now been twice unsuccessful.
That's true.
He was originally going to be Sam Raimi's Vulture, that didn't work, and then
that would have been cool.
Did scenes for this, and then he was cut.
All right.
I kind of wanted to speak of Sam Raimi. I kind of wanted to see the character that was basically a person in the theater. He was supposed to be Mysterio.
Mm-hmm.
They were hinting at it strongly that he was Mysterio, and we never actually got to see him turn into Mysterio.
Okay. That's crazy.
He's the guy that always appears in his movies. Like,
yeah.
First one, he was the announcer for the cage fight. The second one, he was the one that stopped Peter from going into theater when Peter was late. And the third one, he was something else. But then he went into Doctor Strange, and he was a hot dog vendor. That same guy. Campbell something.
So here are the choices for the poll. Okay, these are taken from suggestions on Discord. So here we go. Top 5 non-Marvel DC comic books. So comic books that you love that are not Marvel or DC.
Can it be top 100 since it's the 100th episode?
It could be top 100.
Okay,
sure.
cool.
All right. Top 5 favorite music artists / bands.
Cool.
And in the chat, you can, I'm not going to call anybody out if they don't want to, but in the chat, if this was your suggestion, you can say, this is the one I suggested. Top 5 favorite non-English first language films, shows, cartoons. So anything that is not English as the first language as a entertainment thing. So movies, shows, cartoons, I don't know, anything in that category, streaming, non-streaming, whatever. And the last one is top 5 favorite anime shows or movies. So it's a very no, it didn't win.
Oh, I thought it did.
Not on my list. Did it win at one point? Well, it's not winning tonight, so it doesn't matter. So, I don't think it's going to win tonight. Somebody suggested that. I guess we already had it. Whoever suggested that, please don't suggest things that we already have, if that's the case.
I'm gonna say the 80s one hasn't won yet.
No, not yet. We'll bring that one back up on Thursday. By the way, Thursday will be the beginning of season 2. There's going to be a new intro and new artwork for the stream, for the Nerdcast. The logo will stay the same, but the color might change, so just get ready for that. Anyway, why is Bob blocked yet? What?
Who's Bob?
Who's Bob?
I don't know who he's talking about.
There, scroll up a little bit in the chat. You'll see who he means.
The Sentry?
Yes, the
Bob
Sentry.
from the Incredibles.
We have some James Gunn stuff, but I'm going to save that for Thursday because it's not super pressing. We can talk about it when we... Wait, does Peacemaker come out before or after the stream on Thursday?
I believe it starts... So James said that that the episode drops at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, so it would be 5 p.m. PT.
It'd be before, yeah.
Yeah,
okay, good.
And it's
good.
And it's under an hour of the episode.
Good night, Naruto.
So are you gonna do will those Thursday shows be the Peacemaker episodes, or it'll be something else?
I mean, it'll be like a normal stream, but I will leave the door open for discussions if people want to discuss it. What I don't want to do is have the stream going on at the time the episode is airing, which is what I was worried about. It was going to come on and then we'd be streaming and people would be watching that
2.5 hours later.
Yeah. So, all right, let's do this quickly and then we're going to do the Wheel of Doom. Not Dr. Doom, but Wheel of Doom. We're going to watch the Lego trailer.
Yes,
I don't know if this is going to get claimed or not, honestly.
Yes, Ghost, you're correct.
By the way, somebody was telling me that on Discord, Netflix blocks sharing streams. Is that true?
Yes.
So, like, if you want to share something on Discord from Netflix, it'll block it.
Or if you're wanting to like share your screen, and it's a Netflix tab, I think it just gives you like
a blank screen,
just like a flat white screen.
Okay, that's what they were telling me. So
there's settings on your computer you have to kind of slightly shift to undo that. So
yeah, because I think it's protected by that same like HDCP thing or whatever the hell it's called.
Oh, okay. All right. This is the Lego Batman game. So let's watch this straight through, give our thoughts on it, and so.
This only took 10 fucking years.
Why is the audio so low? Is it low for you guys?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's low.
Yeah.
Was that a Deadpool quote, Jake?
It's the audio's all the way up.
I didn't even mean it that way, but yeah, sure.
I'm gonna see if it's on YouTube. I'm sure that's a X stream clip. So let's see. Yeah, here we go.
Yeah, just swap out 10 for 20, right? That only took 20 fucking years.
Yeah, because no, Lego Batman 3 was 2015.
Right. It's better.
Batman Forever reference.
I need to become more than a man. I need to become.
Oh, that looks so good.
A symbol.
But what did you have in mind?
Elfman music.
Yeah, this is definitely gonna get hit. We'll not be able to play back.
That's cool.
Oh my god, I fucking love this.
Wow. Combat's way better.
Who are you? I'm Batman.
It's Troy Baker again, it sounds like.
Why so serious?
Oh my god.
Let's get nuts. I'm allergic to nuts.
Who's the man behind the mask?
Oh god.
I got you!
Oh.
The Batman.
Action, yeah.
Oh.
Is that a donut?
Yeah. Oh, not the squeaky ducks.
Fun.
Oh, you think darkness is your ally. You merely adopted the dark. I was born in it, molded by... Ah! Who put that there? I could have really hurt myself.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This looks so good.
It's fun.
I think I don't think it's Will Arnett. I think it's Troy Baker again.
Oh my god. This looks so good to me.
I haven't played the previous ones, but I've heard they're a lot of fun.
Yeah.
You know what I love about the Lego
first Lego Batman 3, we didn't get an explorable Gotham. Like that one was more of a Lego DC game than a Lego Batman game because you could explore certain places like the Watchtower, Hall of Justice,
open world.
Cave. Oh, it was kind of open world, but not really because like you could go around on some planets, but they weren't that big. And then you had, like I said, your locations like your Watchtower, your Batcave, your places like that. But Lego Batman 2, you had like a full like 500 square foot area, like your whole explorable Gotham City, your giant sandbox that you could go around, and it looks like we're going back to that. So definitely glad to see that, and they're bringing the Elfman score back.
Yeah, it'd be funny if this is my first Batman game I ever play.
Wait! Your first Lego Batman game or first Batman game? Period.
In general, I haven't touched them.
Holy
Wow.
shit, Darren! All right, I respect you even less now.
I own the like trilogy, the like Arkham games. I have them. I just haven't dived into them.
All right, so
All right, Darren. I don't know what made me say that.
here we go. This is the wheel.
Just like really quickly, I sent
Yeah.
you a little thing that down below. I sent you a little thing that went to the Batman thing. I thought you might.
What is this for again?
Hold on, wait. Where'd you send it?
I just presented it. And
Gotcha. Here we go. Follows Bruce Wayne's entire story. Wow. Incorporates elements from each Batman film. That is incredible. It's open world. It's got Joker, Penguin, Poison Ivy, Ra's al Ghul, and Bane. Playable characters include Jim, Robin, Nightwing, Batgirl, Catwoman, and Talia.
Interesting.
It's got 2 difficulty levels. The Batcave can be customized.
Oh, that's fun.
Yeah.
2-player co-op and includes an Arkham-style combat system.
This could be the best goddamn Batman game we've ever gotten.
I mean, it wouldn't surprise me at all.
I might have to come.
Holy
might
shit.
Have to try it.
So,
Oh, wow.
all right, let's remove this here. So what we're going to do here is the 2 options that we had. 3Dub's already laughing.
Pagey.
Oh my God.
I was about to say, what is this for?
Hold on. I don't think Pagey has access to the mod. Let me do that here on Discord.
Arkham style combat in Legos. That's going to be interesting. Yeah. See, now I wonder if they're going to cheat a little bit, and because they said from each Batman film, I doubt they're going to count this. But what if we saw like some of the Keaton stuff from the Flash? I doubt they'd count that.
No.
But...
Yeah,
I don't think DVS either.
Pagey, if you want to join, there's a mod channel on Discord.
Does that mean we're going to not get any Affleck?
That's what I was thinking, because there's like a lot of discourse right now where it's like, where's Ben Affleck stuff in the trailer? I was like, he didn't have a Batman movie, like not technically, like there's not a lot, like again BVS, but like what are you going to add from BVS? Like they're not gonna.
I think there's plenty of good stuff you can add from BVS.
Why'd you drop out?
Where'd that go? No, I didn't drop out. Someone clicked me out.
Sorry.
No, it wasn't me or anybody else. All right, so the options we have in the mod channel, just to make sure I gave everybody the right options, because everybody was saying I don't know what it is. I think it was video game bosses and cartoons with animals.
Yes.
Right.
Those were the 2.
Okay.
I'll be right back, but if I land on it, I'm picking the video games.
Okay. All right. So we're going to spin the wheel. Whoever this lands on gets to pick one of the top 5s for tonight, which is the top 5 we're doing tonight, which is either top 5 cartoons with animals as the main characters. It can be movies or TV shows, or top 5 video game bosses. Before I spin this wheel, I'm going to let the chat chime in. Chat, which one of those would you rather see tonight? Let us know in the chat. Top 5 video game bosses, top 5 cartoons with animals as the lead. I'm curious what the chat thinks, because it might sway people's decision depending on who it lands on.
Make sure to vote correctly, chat. Oh my God! Fucking Peacemaker Funkos are releasing.
Oh no. We're gonna get spoiled, aren't we?
I mean, I couldn't even care less, to tell you the truth. I'm not trying to be like a doomer or anything. I didn't like season 1 of this show. I'll watch season 2, but man.
Let's see what the chat is saying. You can't join for today. Okay, I just told everybody you're going to join on the weekend starting in September, so we will get to hear Paigey giving me shit again very soon. Video game bosses, game bosses. Chris says top 5 cartoons with animals. Ethan says animal cartoons. Keyblade Master Jeffrey says video game bosses. Fetman says bosses. Reed says top 5 animals. It is a little bit all over the place. Parker says top 5 animals. So it's going to be tough. We're going to see who gets to pick. I think Darren said video game bosses, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you guys ready for me to spin?
Yes.
All right.
Yeah,
Let's
ahead.
see. Now, before we do this, the lore is that Jake never gets picked first for anything. He's always last.
That lore? Is that what we're going with?
That is a possibility here that Jake does not get to pick. However, 3Dub is usually very lucky with the wheel. So let's see what happens here. Getting ready to spin now. Why do I have to pick?
Because you
Why
said
me?
3-Dub was lucky.
I should have taken my name out of the wheel. That's not right. I want the guest to pick. Let me ask you guys, should the guest pick or should I pick?
The guest. I mean,
what do you guys think? Chat, should I pick or should should a guest pick on the show? Because I know what I'm going to pick, but I'm not going to say it yet until I see what the chat says. I want to know what the chat says about this.
Spin again.
They say guest. Right. I feel like it's wrong for me to pick when I gave the two choices. I shouldn't have even had my name on the fucking wheel. All right. Here we go.
But you're right about Jake not.
Well, we don't know. Here we go.
It's Darren.
Oh. Oh. Jake gets shafted once again. All right.
But he did say the bosses.
He did. Is he still AFK?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll wait for him to get back then. All right, so we're doing top 5 video game bosses of any time period. It's like of all time. Just top 5. It doesn't have to be your favorites of favorites. Just make a list of 5 that you really love. It should be really easy. Most people know the games they love and the bosses they love. So
yeah,
I have a list of like 10 because I couldn't get it down to 5.
Same here.
So,
I made a list of 10.
Let's see. Remove this here.
I made a list of 10 just in case some of these got taken, but I don't think they will. Maybe one of them.
Well, I feel like with the video game world, it's going to be really, really, really hard for people to have the same answer unless you go super obvious. Yeah, unless you go super, super obvious.
One of mine is obvious, but is also not obvious.
So, chat, while this is going on, I want you to utilize the thumbs up and the thumbs down button. So, if someone, well, not on my, no, never mind. I didn't mean that. The thumbs up or thumbs down emoji. You can be a thumbs up on YouTube. Thumbs up or thumbs down emoji is what I meant to say.
Yeah, let YouTube know that this man over here is in the fucking algorithm.
Yeah, exactly. Let them know. Yeah, but if somebody gives an answer you hate and you think they're the worst person on the planet, give them a thumbs down.
Yeah.
If they give an answer that you love and you would literally wife them up or husband them up, then go ahead and give them a thumbs up. And if you
everybody go ahead and prep your thumbs down for me, I can take it.
Okay. Also, if somebody gives an answer that you think is banana works too, Paigey. That's fine. That works too.
I picked the most silly answers I've ever given on the show.
Oh my god!
Because I haven't played a lot of video games, so I was like, I had to get creative.
I bet I know what one of these is from. I'll just go ahead and say that.
All right, and let me go ahead and hold on. Wait, I gotta.
So, what order are we doing this in?
Well, that's what I'm doing now. I had to redo.
Are we doing round robin?
We can't. Okay, I'll ask everybody. We're already at the 2-hour mark. Do we want to do round robin? It's gonna take about 30 minutes. Do we want to do round robin or do we just want to do all of them in one shot?
Round robin.
Let's do all of them in one, like 5 each per person.
Either way, I'm fine with.
I like round robin, personally.
So that's 2 round robins and 2 in one, like all shot. I guess Ronan.
I guess mine's all shot too.
Is Darren about to board a plane? I don't know. All right, so well, let's go ahead and pick the order anyway. We'll do that first. All right.
That's
here, it's coming back.
Our prediction that Jake's is going to be.
It's coming back here. Okay. This is going to be order from first to last. All right. So here we go.
Who's predicting Jake will be last?
Jake's going to be first. I agree.
You think Jake's going to be first?
Jake's going to be first.
Okay.
I knew I liked you, Darren.
There we go. This is for the first spot.
Wow.
Come on.
Oh, yes! Jake is number 1.
I wish I bet money on that.
The king declared it so.
All right. Here. So Jake is number 1. He goes to the top of the list there. All right. Let's see who's number 2 is. Is it me? Am I the drama? I think it is.
Right. Who's predicting 3 dubs last?
Oh. All right. Here we go.
Oh,
Darren
okay,
is right there in the middle.
No change.
All right, so we got a 50-50 shot here. This is going to determine the fourth and fifth spot. Here we go. Anybody in the chat? The curse is broken, Parker says. Anybody in the chat betting on anyone? Let us know who you think it's going to be. Ready to do it. Justice for Jake from Chris over there.
I'm gonna say
Appreciate
Freedom
that,
Flash
Chris.
just because he's been first for the last couple weeks.
Oh no! All right.
I'm lucky.
All right. Let's do this here, and I'm gonna arrange everybody in the right order.
Poor
Okay.
Ronan.
I know. I feel bad.
You should bet on me, everyone.
The wheel, the picker wheel has favorites apparently. Okay. With that being said, we're going to go in the order that I moved everybody around in. So here we go. Jake, are we doing? Did everybody kind of agree on round robin? I guess we're doing round robin.
Doesn't matter to me.
Okay. All right. We'll do that. All right. So Jake, go ahead. Is yours in any particular order, or is this just random order for you?
Not particularly ranked. No, it's just 5.
Okay.
So
Go ahead.
this first one is an oldie, going all the way back to the NES, and the only reason I said is this one is kind of obvious is because this boss is actually in the title of the game, and that game is Mike Tyson's Punch-Out.
Oh.
Yeah. That has Mike Tyson himself as the boss, and anybody who's played through that, you know how punishing it is to get destroyed by that one hit. And you know, after a while, you learn that there's a pattern, but you repeatedly got punished as you tried to figure out what that pattern was. And then you eventually lost all your health, and you're like, "Oh shit, I died." Then you had to get back up to Tyson again after fighting your way through a series of opponents, and then your repeated efforts of trying to track his pattern, it was insanely difficult. I would challenge, a lot of those people that are, like late teens, around that age, I would challenge all them to say that they're quote-unquote pro gamers today. See if they would last like 15, 20 minutes in that game without breaking down and crying.
Is that a thumbs up or thumbs down for Jake? I'm seeing some thumbs up in the chat. Seeing some thumbs up. Oh, four from Maddie.
Oh, 4.
Oh.
That's more than 3. I don't know if I can take it.
All right.
Yeah,
so
that's my first one. I said slightly obvious because it's a real dude, but I mean, anybody who knows Mike Tyson, they captured what he can do pretty damn well in a video game.
all right. So mine, I'm going to go back to. I think I put the years next to my.
Oh, whoa! I got a lot of thumbs up down there in that one comment.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go.
All right, Chris, coming.
I'm going to go all the way back to 1993. Okay. And back to the core of my gaming experience in that era.
Okay.
And I'm going to go with Shao Kahn from Mortal Kombat 2.
Yeah.
A huge, towering character. Taunts you a little bit during the fight. Definitely cheesy. Yeah, definitely cheesy. I just remember that character being almost culturally relevant at the time that the game was out, and everybody talked about it. So yeah, Shao Kahn would be in my list. I'm getting some thumbs up. I better see all thumbs up for Shao Kahn.
I'll say this: as difficult as he was in Mortal Kombat 2, I'd argue he was more difficult in Mortal Kombat 9.
Oh yeah, I would say that. I went back to the OG for me.
Yeah, fair enough.
So with that being said, let's go over to Darren. What is your choice? I love the thumbs up guys, by the way.
My first one. This is a basic ass pitch. This one's like so basic. I think this is I don't know, but I would imagine this is probably the most popular, iconic game villain of all time. Easily the boss that I've fought the most across many video games. The King Koopa himself, Bowser. Just
all right.
The original game of Super Mario Galaxy, even in Super Party, when he'll steal half my coins or take my stars. I've never felt more rage in my life, and I lose half my coins from Bowser. So
Chad, is that a thumbs up or thumbs down for Darren? I feel like other people might have had that on their list. Honestly,
it was a safe one. I was like, that's the one I've played pretty consistently throughout my gaming history.
You're getting a lot of thumbs up so far. Jake is the only person that's gotten thumbs down on
Makes
his
sense.
choice. So, just saying. Just
I don't know. Maybe I gave people PTSD by bringing that up.
Good night, Jeffrey. Have a good night. Thank you for being here.
Oh, good night, Jeffrey.
3W, you are up next. We're going in clockwise, so you're up next.
I was going to be nice with Darren on the animal stuff if that came around. Since he stole my freaking Bowser.
I knew it. I told you. I was like, somebody definitely had Bowser. Somebody definitely had Bowser.
I'm going to get you for it later.
All right.
So I'm going to have to change my number one to a one that's also like an oldie game. I do have backups. From Game Boy, everything basically is still going on, and it's a generic bad guy. It's basically a group, and it's called Team Rocket. Team not Team Rocket. Team Rocket.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's another one that I'm surprised
Pretty
that
common.
other people might have, but yeah, that's another big one. Chat, does 3W get thumbs up or thumbs down for Team Rocket? Let us know how you feel in the chat, and make sure you give us your honest opinion. If you think that you hate us, you can just say I hate you, and I'll be like, okay, yeah, cool. Ronan is up next. What is your first choice?
I'm gonna go with Captain K. Rool of Donkey Kong Country 2.
Ooh, yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That motherfucker was tough to beat, and especially in Game Boy Advance, when you would be right there at the edge and about to win, he'd knock your ass up. And thank God I never recorded myself, but I would rage quit multiple times. Be like, "Fuck this game, man!"
Those damn cannonball hits, man. They've made challenges.
Yeah.
Where someone has made a challenge of DKC2 where it's go for the final boss, but only with Dixie Kong, and it's ridiculous.
That's a good one. All right, so we're at number 4 now, and Jake is up next. Looks like you're getting some thumbs up, Ronan. People appreciate that one, so it's a good one.
I got class.
So with my next one, this is coming from one of the franchises that I brought up before whenever we were talking about favorite video games / franchises. This boss has actually been the final boss of 2 games in this franchise, and a sub-boss in at least 2 others. I have Heihachi Mishima from the Tekken games.
Okay.
Yeah.
There we go.
That is one of the more popular video game characters out there. He carried the series, really made it what it is today. From games 1 through 7, of course, he's the original boss of the first Tekken. Comes back as the final boss of Tekken 4. He's the sub-boss of 3. He's one of the sub-bosses of the second.
You're getting thumbs up, Jake. I think you're winning them back.
I had a feeling I was getting thumbs up with that one. Yeah,
with or without the butt cheeks out, because there's a version of him that has the butt cheeks out. So
that Tekken 4 diaper version. Funny story about that, actually. My friend group that used to play Tekken 4, they hated that damn look for him so much. So one of us that was a Heihachi player would always pick that look on purpose. Whenever we would be on a roll against them, we would just always scream, "Diaper!" and it pissed them off so bad.
Right.
But yeah, one of my favorite characters in just video games, period.
Butt cheeks out gets thumbs up. Okay.
He is a hell of a boss in that.
3W is in murky water, according to Maddie now. Okay, well.
He's damn difficult in Tekken 1 because he's the only character with 3D movement.
Right.
So it's really difficult. But yeah, Heihachi's an absolute badass. I will admit to go to Lone Wolf's thing, Jinpachi was definitely more of a struggle as a character. He was harder to fight. But when it comes to just impact of the series and, leaving the mark that they did, I think Heihachi takes the cake.
All right, so that brings me to my next one. We're going to go all the way back to 1987. This character's been in a lot of games, but I'm going to go back to the OG one because that's where I remember meeting this character. And that is from a beloved franchise that needs to do a little bit more. Not the Peaches. That is 1987's Nintendo Entertainment System, Mega Man and Dr. Wily was one of my favorite villains in a game franchise, I guess you could say. I love Mega Man. I wish they did more with that character. I know they've had some bad additions to the library of Mega Man. I do remember loving the Mega Man cartoon. I think it was like the Nintendo cartoon that used to come on Saturday mornings.
Yeah.
That had Mega Man in it, which I really loved. I see some thumbs up in the chat because people recognize game recognized game. I get it. So like I picked Dr. Wily. Y'all are like, yes, that's the best one ever. I think that might be the best choice so far in this entire list is Dr. Wily, but that's just because it's my choice. With that being said,
I probably would have picked Sigma, but I get it.
Sigma's good too, but I still think Dr. Wily's got a little riz. All right, so what is your next choice, Darren?
My next choice, honestly, I thought maybe someone would have taken it at this point, so I'm very happy no one did. Again, I've finished playing a game very, very, very few times, so I'm going to be dipping into my ones I've actually completed. This is a comic book video game. And this boss is one of my favorite adaptations of that character, and forever going forward, this will be my golden standard for that.
Yeah.
And that is Dr. Octopus in the first Spider-Man game.
Such a well fleshed out character.
And that's why I was being nice, because I knew you were going to pick it. I left that out purposely, and you took Browser for me.
The writing of that fight, man, just where you see them punching each other on the side of the building.
Yep.
My God.
So good. The chat is feeling that, Darren. I have to say, all the thumbs up are coming out on that one.
I am such a sucker from friendship to enemy dynamics. I love the you having to go into work and work for him, and the slow burn of he's acting a little funny. Oh no, the Oscorp stuff is coming in. The slowness of I hate you, Parker, and what they do with Aunt May at the end. It's probably one of my favorite comic book media moments of all time. It's such
that bit at the end where he screams, "You were everything I wanted to be."
It's so good.
So good. All right, so looks like the chat's still on your side, Darren. We're doing good here. Now, 3W, you were in murky waters with a couple people. So what is your next choice?
My number 2 is also a comic book movie, comic book game. It's very dark, I would say.
Okay.
I like this adaptation of this character that we haven't really seen this in live action, but we had it in Titans, sort of, and that is Arkham Knight. We had Red Hood.
Red Hood.
Yeah, we had a variation of that story, but this one was really done, and I liked it.
Okay.
You can count that as a boss, yeah.
Yeah,
he was technically an antagonist.
Yeah. I mean, I would say that's I mean, well, sometimes games don't have a clear defined structure or whatever.
No, it's not about the structures. It's just the encounter with him is not really a boss fight.
It's more of a side quest thing, right?
No, it's more of just a basic Predator room.
Yeah. Look, but the chat is giving him thumbs up. I do see Dalton gave him a thumbs up and a thumbs down.
Yeah, I mean, I get it.
The chat gets to call us out. So, chat, let us know what you think of 3Dub's choice. Whatever you think of that. So, Ronan, we are at you. What is your next one? What is your next choice?
So, it's kind of an obscure one, but I'm going to go for SAX for Metroid Fusion. Now, people will be like, who the fuck is that?
I love Metroid Fusion.
The premise of Metroid Fusion is that Samus, I think it was after Super Metroid, is battle, she's been hurt, including her suit.
Yep.
And what happens is that in Fusion, a parasite takes a hold of her old damaged suit and becomes like a walking suit, terrorizing this whole station. She gets a new suit, and it's almost like Jar Carpenter's the thing where she has to survive duking it out with someone who is in her old suit and just as capable as her, and it's just amazing. And it's mixed in with at one point, there's literally a moment where the suit breaks down. It's the Thing, and it's an amazing take on that Metroid Fusion game and the world. And later on, I'll mention something else, Metroid. But I remember when I played the game, I was just like, the fuck, I have to fight a version of myself, but it's a parasite in my old suit. And I just thought it was very, from a narrative perspective, very unique, and especially that it's for a game and a Game Boy Advance. It wasn't a big platform game, and I just love the design. Like I urge people go look it up images wise, and you'll get the visuals of like SAX and how, especially at the end, things just go fucking weird.
It is kind of funny that Super Smash Bros. Brawl took that same concept from Metroid Fusion and threw it into their Subspace Emissary, where you have Samus fight a dark Samus of sorts. They took that same concept and kind of painted around it. But yeah, no, that's a good pick. I love Metroid Fusion.
All right, with that being said, chat, let us know what you think of Ronin's choice from the Metroid franchise. And now we're going to move on to Jake. What is your third choice?
So my third one, this is another one from a comic book game. I was worried that this was going to get taken. Thankfully, it didn't. This is also from the Arkham series. I'm going to pick the better boss fight out of this. That is from Batman Arkham City, Mr. Freeze. I had to pick that fight because that essentially tests everything that you've learned about the game up to that point. Puts you in a great situation where you can't just, button mash combo your way out of it. You really have to use your brain. And the higher difficulties you play on, the more restrictions you have. Because the whole thing with Freeze in that fight, for anybody who doesn't know, you have to take him out through a series of stealth moves. And once you do a stealth move, it's made impossible for you to repeat that move a second time. And whenever you're playing on a New Game Plus, there's actually an added difficulty in there to where if you have your detective mode on for too long, then it's jammed for the entirety of the fight. And you really have to be creative of what could work against him and what can't. And if you do something that ends up not working, you find out really damn quick.
You're punished for it, basically.
You find out really damn quick. And the dialogue there is really good, works great from a narrative standpoint. There's even an added layer that people don't know about, or that some people don't know about. So for anybody who's familiar with that fight, just take yourself back there in your mind. All those frozen statues around the room of Nora Freeze, if you're ever trying to get Victor off your back or cause a distraction, if you destroy one of those statues of Nora Freeze, as heartless as it is, you might have a heart of ice, but that ticks him off long enough to get a distraction done. And yes, that was a joke to that episode.
I had to chime in and let the chat know how are we feeling about Jake's choice, because there's not a lot of thumbs up or thumbs down. It's just kind of.
I was debating back and forth. I was like, which Arkham boss battle did I want to go with? It was that one or the
cold take.
It was that one or the Deathstroke fight from Arkham Origins. So I was bouncing back and forth between those two.
Chris says, "Did you do any ice puns?" All thumbs up. You got some thumbs up on this one. It looks like they're back on your side now, fully. Like you got them fully locked in.
Yeah, well, I mean, it kind of does an ice pun, I guess. I mean, one of his game over lines is him walking up to you and going, "I will turn your blood to ice."
All right, so my next choice, we're going all the way back to 1991 if you played in the arcade, and 1992 if you played on the Super Nintendo. One of the most iconic bosses of all time.
I know this.
That actually was one actor's last performance in a movie that went down in history as being one of the worst movies of all time. However, in the game, not so much iconic, and that is M. Bison from Street Fighter 2. The first time we saw him in Street Fighter 2. Again, so Street Fighter is really interesting because a lot of people's first experience with Street Fighter was Super Nintendo. So that's why I listed both arcade and Super Nintendo, even though I played it in the arcade first. I know a lot of people got it Super Nintendo or whatever. M. Bison, totally goated. I think that everyone in the chat will agree with me. I don't think I'll see any thumbs down because, again, they understand we're speaking the same language. We're on the same wavelength. The chat's always on my side 100% of the time. Never disagree with me. So
a lot of the younger people too, whenever they hear a Street Fighter boss, their mind probably goes to Akuma.
Yeah, Zan says that Super Psycho Crusher. Yeah, 100%. The Alpha series broke a lot of people's brains. Darren swoops in and crushes me with like thumbs up and thumbs down.
He's never played that game before.
All right. So
I didn't even have to ask him. I already called him out.
No, it's fine. I do. So, Darren, what are we thinking for your third choice here?
Okay, so these next three is where I begin to get a little silly with my choices.
I know what one of these is. I guarantee it.
I'm gonna do that one now. I made the joke last week. I was like, I should do that. I was like, you know what? I am gonna do it because it'd be really funny. I'm going Scar from the Lion King.
Oh.
Now, you might be asking, Darren, I thought you said you didn't finish the game. I don't think you ever got the Scar. I did not get the Scar. But if I know my goat Scar, if I know the king of all villains, I know he was a fantastic boss fight. And I know he gave Simba all the dirt. I know he gave him such a hard time, and he has to be one of the greatest bosses.
He was difficult. It was more difficult getting to him.
Well, Dalton gave you a thumbs up, so there you go.
So Darren, that's one that I knew you were going to do. There's another one that I also think you're going to do.
Okay, we'll see. There's one that it's going to be the most insane thing I've ever done on this show.
Okay,
I guarantee it.
Okay.
Chris says a freaking course it's going to be Scar. Yeah, obviously. 3Dub, what is your number 3?
So we are. So I am also going on a very slim picking because I rarely like play games with bosses in them. So it's kind of hard to like generic bosses and stuff like that. You know, like Team Rocket, there's no definitive boss right there, except for it's like a whole like team. So my number 3rd pick is actually from Call of Duty, and he actually goes. He goes from a good side to basically a rogue assassin that starts killing his teammates, and that is Rourke from Call of Duty Ghost.
I don't remember that one. I don't know a lot about Call of Duty, but I don't remember.
It had Brandon Routh as a character. Brandon Routh was voicing a character.
That game was boring as hell.
Chat, chat, how are we feeling about 3Dub's answer? How are we feeling? Thumbs up, thumbs down. Come on. Give us your thoughts. All right, Ronan, what is your 3rd choice?
So this one, people might debate on whether it's a villain or not. I consider it a villain just because it's the main thing I have to fight off in the game. I'm going to go with the clickers of The Last of Us.
Oh, God.
Oh, I thought you were going a different direction.
I'm saving that character for later.
Night, Xana.
And the reason why I go with the clickers because as much as they are antagonists, I'm just fascinated by the concept because sure people say it's a zombie game or not, but I take a look at it, I'm like, it's the ultimate. The way I take it, it's the ultimate embodiment, physical embodiment of Mother Nature saying, "Fuck this shit. You guys have been fucking everything in the world. I want to fight back." And you look at the designs; it is horrific, and yet there's some beauty. And I urge people to go play the game and watch the documentary making up the first game. And see how much detail they went on the clickers, and especially even their evolving stage. They are the creepiest thing I've ever seen in horror. They freak me out more than zombies, and it's fascinating because, especially in the show, they double down like there's no real cure at the moment for that. That's something that's frighteningly a real thing that just hasn't jumped to humans yet.
Yeah,
it's only for insects, and the fact that the cordyceps fungus infection is a real thing, it's even creepier itself. So I'm gonna go with the clickers.
King Ryburn says I'm playing The Last of Us 2 right now. So there we go. Nice. It seems like you get a lot of thumbs up on yours. So Jake, that brings us to number 2 on your list.
That brings us to number 2. All right. So like I said, this one was kind of difficult to put together because there's a lot that I wanted to include. But I am going with a boss from a Zelda game now, going specifically from the Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess. This is by far my least favorite dungeon, ironically enough, but it's got my favorite boss. So it's kind of weird how it's paired there. And I'm going with Argarok, who was the boss of the City in the Sky dungeon. That dungeon is absolutely terrible, but it's got this badass fight where you're, fighting a dragon in this epic sky battle. Has a lot of stakes. Really cool looking arena, really creative fight, the way that it's done. And it's not difficult per se. It's not all that challenging, but I think it's the most epic. And in a game like Twilight Princess that really likes to emphasize onto those, epic cinematic moments, I think Argarok just takes the cake in that regard. So Had to go with that one.
The chat has not spoken on that one. I'm not seeing any thumbs up or thumbs down for yours at all.
I see one thumbs up from Dalton.
Okay, so I didn't know if that was for yours or if that was for Ronan, so that's why I kind of left it there. But
might be for Ronan's. I don't know.
All right, so we're on me, and I'm about to give another epic answer. This one is one that I'm pretty sure nobody has selected because I did a really good job of making sure that I was not picking what everybody else was picking, right? So this is actually I have two random ones. Should I go with the? Because they're kind of interchangeable for me. Let's do. Okay, so this game came out. Dalton confirmed it was for you. Okay, there we go.
Oh, nice.
This game came out in 2005, but there was also a recent remake of it, or remaster, whatever you want to call it. And that is a bunch of boss battles, essentially all boss battles. And that is the Colossi from Shadow of the Colossus.
Okay.
It's literally a game with nothing but boss battles and puzzles. That's all it is.
Yeah, it's a boss rush game.
Yeah, I love that game. I love the design. I love the creatures. I think it's a really cool storyline. I love the remaster remake that came out recently. If you've never played it, it is definitely worth playing because the scope and scale of the battles is just incredible. And it's just you and your horse and a bow and arrow and a little sword against these giant creatries. It's a lot of fun.
Has no idea what you're talking about.
And I see the chat going crazy for me as expected because, again, goated. But anyway, so Darren, what is your second choice?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think this is, I think most people would agree that this is one of the hardest boss levels you can play in a game. I think, when you're fighting this guy, you are feeling the epic highs and lows. You are experiencing the greatest gaming experience of all time.
Oh no!
And so the feeling when I fail to beat King Pig in any Angry Birds game, it is a travesty among all men of all creations. It is a travesty.
Oh no!
See, here I was thinking he was going to go for a boss from a Ben 10 game.
I had Vilgax on my list, and I ended up not doing it. I thought about it.
See, this is what happens. I know you too well, I feel like, because I knew Scar was coming.
I thought about it, but I was like, I feel like I can't do that and Scar. I have to pick between one of them.
Fair enough. And
all right.
You chose your favorite. I respect it.
Dalton doesn't know what to think, so you're just getting thumbs up and thumbs down there. But it looks like Chris is on page. Oh no, nothing is Shadow Colossus. Okay, what's for me? All right, never mind.
Yeah, I guess we've done particularly good on our sales pitch then.
All right, 3Dub, what is your number 2?
So this one's no, this is number 4. I'm doing it the other way.
Oh. Okay.
This one is from my favorite reboot series. I haven't even played the original 3 gameplays of the original franchise, but this is from 2014. It's the graphics were good. I like the story arc. It's obviously you're basically a thief throughout the entire thing, and you're technically the bad guy, but you're not really the bad guy because there's someone badder than you, and that's Orion from the Thief franchise.
Okay. I'm not familiar with that one, so we'll just let you have that one. I can't give you any feedback on it because I've never played that one.
It's very medieval.
Anybody else familiar with it at all, or no?
Played it for 5 minutes.
Oh wow!
It's very difficult too because if you make a sound, they come at you like.
Dalton just gave you 3 thumbs down on that one. All right.
It's my game. I like it.
Yeah. It's your list. It's your list. Ronan, what is your second to last choice here?
So I've been doing some stuff at the house. So if somebody picked this one, I apologize, but it's what I chose. I'm gonna go with Sweet Tooth, just metal.
Okay.
Okay.
That's a good choice.
Respect that one.
It is very much of the 90s. It is batshit idea they come up with, and toughest card to beat when I played it as a kid, and also the card you wanted to play. And I think it just screams the 90s, screams that franchise, and also made its way to television. And I think it's a chaotic design, and I just love that it's now different mediums.
There we go. All right, chat, what are you thinking about Ronan's choice? I think they might know that one because the TV show is out.
Yeah.
So they might know that
I
character.
thought you meant the like Netflix show. I was like,
the
no.
DC like thing or whatever. Okay, so Jake, we are down to your last
Final
choice.
pick.
This is last chance to redeem yourself with everybody in the chat. So what do we got?
I'll throw a couple honorable mentions out there first because I had a couple that I had listed. There's one of these that will make complete sense for anybody who knows me, and these other honorable mentions I doubt anyone's heard of. So to get the obvious one out of the way first, I'm going with from the Raimi Spider-Man movie game, The Green Goblin. Because god damn it, he is difficult sometimes. Whether he's on the glider or off of it. If he's on it, he's constantly shooting at you. If he's not, then all of a sudden he has a 10th degree black belt in Krav Maga.
And the swinging is basically you have to stay up in the air. There is no ground landing, so you can't like maneuver away from it.
That's not entirely true, but
you can go on rooftops, but that's about it.
With the other two, these are the two honorable mentions. One of my favorite game franchises of all time. This is from a Fire Emblem game, Fire Emblem: The Binding Blade. I have the final boss of that game called Idun, which is the demon dragon that is responsible for the war that's happening in that game. And it breaks so many elements from what a typical boss is, but I kind of love it for that reason. I don't want to ruin it for anybody who hasn't played it, but either take my word for it or, download a ROM of the game for yourself and play it and you'll experience it. Yeah, and the last honorable mention I'll give out is the one that probably people on here might recognize. This is coming from the Elder Scrolls franchise, specifically Skyrim. The goddamn Ebony Warrior. A thing is insanely difficult. You have to get essentially up to the max level, or what was at one time the max level before they unlocked the level cap.
I was gonna say they raised the level cap.
And fight somebody that is essentially does everything you can do, but is better at it. So yeah, those were the honorable mentions. And the final one that I'll have here, this is one of the weirdest bosses because you had
top 15.
Pretty much. You had to do something different to fight this boss. You couldn't actually use the controller in a normal way to fight this boss. In fact, you had to switch controller ports to fight this boss because this boss had a unique ability to read your controller inputs. He had a psychic ability to do it. And that is from Metal Gear Solid Psycho Mantis.
I was going to say, it sounds familiar to me.
Yeah, I definitely wanted to go with that one. That unique aspect of that boss alone is something that's made it stand out. And trying to do it without that is insanely difficult. I remember just ramming my head into the door several times because that was so damn ridiculous before I figured out that was the way to do it. And we didn't have things like the internet to figure it out back then. Like we either had to figure out a way to do it or find out a friend that knew how. So it was really difficult. But yeah, that's my last one that I'm going with.
So now that Jake's list is over, chat, rank it from 1 to 10. I'm curious what you would give Jake's list from 1 to 10. The whole thing.
Yeah, I'm curious.
1 to 10. Jake's top 15 games. Oh, 0.
Zero.
Wow. I didn't even say.
Wait, Lone Wolf. Which one did you know I was going for with that? I'm curious.
3Dub said negative 20. Holy shit.
Oh, apparently I sold Chris on the Demon Dragon.
Yeah. You got an 8.9, a 7. All right. So mine is really simple. I'm going to keep it simple. I've got honorable mentions, but I'm going to save them in case we do another gaming list. So this is going to come from 1998. It's not the first time this character was in a game, or the first time we've seen this world. But I'm going to go with The Legend of Zelda Ocarina of Time for Nintendo 64. And the boss is going to be Ganondorf/Ganon.
Yeah.
I love that battle. It's a 2-phase fight, which I enjoy. And it's very memorable. And if you've ever played any of the Legend of Zelda games, this is probably one of the, if you played this installment, this is one of the fights you're definitely going to remember from Legend of Zelda. So definitely on my list, 1998, shout out to Legend of Zelda. And can't wait to see what happens with the show/movie. Is it a movie or is it a show? I don't even know.
Movie.
It's a movie. we'll wait to see what goes on with that. Chat, you can let me know what you think of my list, but I'm pretty sure it's going to be like an 8.5 or higher from everybody. But you can still tell me anyway, because I think my list was extremely epic. I see Jake typing furiously, which is going to be definitely a good faith score. See, Mighty Matt says this is why I'm the GOAT. I already knew this. But we're going to move over to Darren because I have a feeling Darren is going to top my list with whatever he chooses.
That's why I get Darren's score.
Yeah. He's going to top my list. So what do you got, Darren? What is your last one?
Okay, here we go. I want to apologize in advance for this.
To who?
I am everyone involved because I am cheating beyond all belief.
Okay.
But let's look at the fine print really quickly to the message he sent. He said, top 5 video game bosses. He didn't say 5 bosses from video games. So we are going King Candy from Wreck-It Ralph 2012, which is a boss from a video game. It is from a movie, but he is a video game boss.
Okay.
Nonetheless, check and mate. I won. Here we go.
What? Barry, what did you do this time?
So we're going to read, I did go super chat with, I think, Lone Wolf's options on it. We're going to look at those in a second. But look at that. A bunch of thumbs down, 1 thumbs up from Dalton, and the rest thumbs down. So there you go. Yeah. All right. So 3Dub, we are down to your number 1. What is your number 1?
Number 5, actually.
Oh, that's right. You go from best to worst. Okay.
This is like the most silliest, non-existent answer I could think of because I ran out of big bads and I don't play a lot of big bad games. So we're going, and basically the big bad could be anyone, depending on what side you're on.
Right.
And that is anyone that isn't Steelers or Patriots from NFL.
Oh, okay, gotcha. I was like, wait, what? What? No, I get it now. Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Darren, someone said I'm surprised you didn't pick Ralph himself.
I could have, yeah.
What did you got? What would you guys give Darren's list? I forgot to ask. 1 out of 10, and what would you give for
Y'all want to hear what I almost
list?
did?
What?
I almost did old aging from Sims. Maybe next time.
Okay, so with that being said, we are at Ronan now. What is your final choice on your list?
I'm going with Abby from The Last of Us Part 2.
I thought about it, but I was like, I need to save it for him.
Now, I want to say this beforehand. Perspective goes a long way, especially with Naughty Dog game, especially with that fucking game. And I have to be very careful because he's also in the TV show. And people might have not seen the TV show or might have played the game. Let's just say that this character affected me in the middle of COVID.
Wow.
When I first played it. And some people don't regard her as a big boss, villain, antagonist. I do. I understand her motives or her stuff, but having said that, when the game concluded, I wanted nothing else but to burn everything to the ground. And without saying why and how that went to be, I leave it to people in the audience to either go watch the show until it concludes, TBD, or go play the games. She is a force to be reckoned with. I will give her that. She is very good looking, which makes it even more harder. And but people will get it. They play the game, but I wish stuff would have ended differently had I had any say, and I could easily just play a Johnny Cash guitar till the end and be happy. But yeah, she caused me a lot of pain. Still does here and there. And I want to make it clear that Laura Bailey, who played her in the game, and Caitlin Dever, who plays her in the TV show, have done and are doing phenomenal work. And I don't take that, and I don't put that on them too. I put them on Neil Druckmann, who I love, but god damn it, what the fuck, dude? Yep, Abby.
Is this a simple
Ronan,
choice?
You mean her, right? You mean her, right?
Yeah. I never met her. I want to meet her and give her a hug. I'm like, hi, Laura. Just by the way, you gave me so much pain during COVID.
I don't think you should start with that.
No, I'm not going to start with that.
Ronan,
But
that is
yeah,
a really weird way to profess your love, man.
it's weird, dude. Because damn, I can't go into it because people might not play the game. But let's just say that she is unique. I'll give her that.
Yeah.
All right.
And you know what, Ronan? I am proud of you for that. You kept your head on.
So Fetman's giving his list there, but we did have a super chat with their choices. So let's go ahead and look at that one first. And that is from Lone Wolf. $5 super chat. Thank you again for the support, Lone Wolf. I do appreciate it. And being a channel member. Top 5 for me is Sephiroth, Alucard, M. Bison, Shao Kahn, and Virgil.
Virgil, yeah.
That's
Nice.
a pretty good list.
Devil May
Pretty
Cry,
good
yeah.
list. Pretty good list, Lone Wolf. Thank you for the donation there. All right, so let me give you guys a preview. Go ahead, Jake.
Also, shout out to Galactus from Marvel vs. Capcom 3. That one was really fun, but really aggravating.
So this is a preview of a game that I'm going to do soon. And what this is we will go through the list. I'm going to put myself
Holy
back on top now. We'll go through the
the
list.
hell?
And each person will pick, they'll say a hero, right? Just you'll say a hero that's on this wheel. And then I'll spin the wheel, and that will be the person that faces off against your hero, and you have to argue how your hero would win against the person they face off against. Right? Like you'd have to make an argument for it. So, for example, we'll do an example. Jake, pick a character off the wheel.
Wally.
Wally the Flash.
Yeah.
So I'm going to spin it. Hopefully it doesn't land on Wally. But we'll see. I'm going to
Wally
spin it.
versus Wally have two.
Yeah.
When Wally met Wally.
We're going to spin it, and you're going to tell me if you think Wally can beat the character that's selected on the list.
Oh,
And
he
then-
can't beat that one.
He can beat that one.
All right, Martian
yeah, he
Manhunter. Can Wally West the Flash beat Martian Manhunter?
Yeah.
You think so?
Yeah.
No.
Does everybody agree on that? You don't think
Yeah.
Martian Manhunter would be able to beat Wally?
I mean, he's a speedster. I think speedsters can beat almost anybody.
Wally is also the fastest speedster, so
But not the most creative, just the fastest.
He
Barry
needs to
is-
run it in.
Barry is still the best with his
I
powers.
mean,
though.
if it would have landed on the Spectre, we'd be having a different conversation.
All right.
I mean, he produces like lightning. He can create fire, and then Marshmallows toast.
Oh, that's true. That is true, actually.
Are we also talking like death battle here? Like morals are not on the
Yeah. These are they're basically controlled to fight to the death. So
I think in death battle, speedsters beat
Right.
literally any fictional character.
so. Now Martian Manhunter has been defeated, so he can't be picked at all. That's the way this would work.
Hunger Games style. I like.
Yeah,
it.
yeah. So, and then the last one on the wheel, or the last choice that we have is the winner. The last one on the wheel is the winner if they can't be defeated. So then I would say 3-Dub, you pick someone.
The Spectre.
Okay, so spin the wheel.
It'd be funny if Green Arrow was on here, but he's not.
Well, it would be a lot more choices when we do this. So we have Plastic Man versus the Spectre.
Bye-bye.
Bye, Plastic Man. Nice knowing you.
Now
So-
hold on. He could pretend
That's
to be
a little
dressed,
bit of a stretch
and
right
then,
there.
Pretend to
Aaron,
be a dress, go on him and suffocate him, and then
Aaron,
game's over.
the Plastic Man will make a nice chair for Spectre.
Right. All right. So then we'll go to, and you can't pick the same thing that somebody just picked. So as we go through the list, you have to choose someone else. You can't do like the same choice over and over again. So Darren, who would you pick? That's
Oh,
left on the
boy.
wheel.
Can't
Can't be the Spectre or Wally West.
The Flashberry.
Okay.
Darren's like, loophole, damn it. Oh!
Oh, who wins on this one?
I don't.
We could fight about this all night.
Which one? Kane and Lonsdale, Wally, or
I mean, we're going comic, I assume.
I mean, whatever way you want to do it.
I'm just gonna say Barry because I know him more, but maybe Wally.
Wow, that's
I don't.
Wally wins that. I'm sorry.
I don't know enough about Wally to properly.
okay.
If you want to know more about Wally and his power sets, read Rebirth.
Yeah.
So Wally's off the board now, though. That means no Wally. By the way, Chris, those are great choices. I definitely like Eggman.
Why is Wally off the board?
If someone gets defeated, they're off the board. That's the way it works.
Wait, but
Darren says that Barry would defeat Wally. That was his battle.
Okay,
is what I'm saying.
okay,
Yeah.
okay.
All right. So now we would do like Ronan. Would you pick someone? Oh, this left on the board that hasn't been picked already.
Where the fuck is Green Lantern Kyle Rayner? I'm just kidding. I'm gonna go. Damn it! I'm gonna go. Batman.
Where's Wonder Woman?
She's on there.
Right there.
My ass is blind.
All right, so this is Batman, and he's going to verse whoever's on this list, and then we have to decide, or you have to decide who you think wins. Oh, Superboy Prime.
He's toast.
He would have had better luck against Wonder Woman. Well, Superboy Prime.
Is there any argument that Batman beat Superboy Prime at all?
Superboy Prime.
No.
Let me just put it to you this way: Superboy Prime took Batman's son out of the grave, and he would put Batman right in it.
Yeah.
I say that if Batman can take down Superman, he can take down Superboy. That's just my opinion.
Not time though.
So this is a preview. I don't want to go through the whole list, but basically, essentially, we go through this, and then we would get down to like the two left, and we would argue about the two left on the wheel to who wins, and then we would spin the wheel and see what the wheel's magic is. So for me, say for example, I would pick someone that we haven't picked yet on the wheel. I would say we'll pick Superman, right? And then see where it lands, and the Flash Barry. Barry would beat Superman in my opinion. I know people would say that's controversial, but I think the Flash could beat Superman. I mean, Barry beat Superboy Prime. He can beat Superman. Like I feel like that's a given. So then basically we just whittle this all the way.
Objective, if depending on which Barry we are up against.
We're not going to talk. No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that.
If it was Ezra Miller's Barry, Superman would beat his butt.
Well, I mean, we're not getting that pedantic about it. But what I would do is I'd create a mega wheel. And then down here, we could look at all the choices. All the names are down here. So, like, you'd be able to go through and pick the ones you want or whatever. And we could add people back on the board if we wanted. See, the ones that are dotted out, we could add them back. So, say, for example, Superboy Prime won. He was taken off the board. We do this, puts him back on the board. And that's how we keep track of the winners and the losers in the battle. So, anybody that gets eliminated that doesn't win their battle or gets picked on the board that doesn't win their battle, they get taken down. So now Superboy Prime is back on the board. Same thing with Barry, right? So I said that Barry would beat Superman. And it's my choice because the wheel landed for me. So they put Barry back on the board. And we do that until we whittle it down to like the top two on the list, basically. That's how it works. So I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Mighty Man with Wonder Woman loses.
I mean, technically Ezra Miller was the reason why in Snyder Cut they were able to stop Steppenwolf. So otherwise they would have lost. Yep. So
he's the one that rewound time.
Sucks to be that, but it is what it is. Anyway, let's see what won the list for tonight on the poll.
Yeah, I'm curious.
And here we go. In poll, what do we got? 47% said non-Marvel DC comic books.
Okay.
So, and we're going to expand that to non-Marvel DC comic books or comic book media. So, cartoons and movies count as well.
What's the choice again?
Top 5 non-Marvel DC comic book media. So you can pick comic books, or if you only know them from like movies or TV shows, you can just say, like for example, Spawn. You could just say Spawn because Spawn has movies and stuff like that.
I honestly feel like we've done this before, but
no, we've done. Wait, hold on. We did a top 5. It was wait. Where did Ronan go?
We did a top 5 non-Marvel DC superhero films.
Right, but this is not exclusively films. This is comic books or TV shows or cartoons or anything.
Okay.
Yeah, covers everything. So you can pick anything that falls into the superhero genre that is not Marvel or DC, including comic books, cartoons, and TV shows.
Oh, I already have a wild choice.
Me too.
I'm not going to pick this, but as of today, they did officially announce some Lion King comic books.
Oh no!
Dynamite Comics. So I could be like Lion King. Let's go.
Yes, this would count. Yeah.
Darren, honestly, You should just continue that. Anytime you have a chance to include Lion
Yeah.
King stuff in this list, go for it.
So the way that wheel game will work, and we're going to do a whole stream on it probably, is you have to make the argument, and then everybody else argues against it, and we take a consensus, and that's how that works. So say, for example, we have 5 here. It's an odd number, which makes it super easy, right? So Darren would say, I believe that Barry Allen can beat Wally West. And then all of us would chime on it in it. And whichever the majority is rules, and then that person stays on the wheel or comes off the wheel. And that's how that would work. That was going to be the game for tonight. The actual stream was going to be the game, but because my computer was acting up, I didn't have time to put it all together. So we will do it for another stream. But anyway, I want to shout out to everybody who came in for the 100th stream for the Nocturnal Nerdcast. I do appreciate it. Thursday starts season 2 and doesn't really mean much for our regular viewers. It's just going to be a stream as it goes, but we will change the design of the stream. Like, it'll look different when you guys come in on Thursday, and we will have a new intro on Thursday. So get ready for that. With that being said, I think we've covered everything. So thanks everybody for hanging out. And yeah, here we go. See everyone. Okay, so the truth is I was tired of the awkward endings to my streams. So if you're seeing this, it is a pre-recorded video to say thank you to everybody for coming to the stream, and this is the end of the show. I want to give a shout out to all of my panel members who come and join me every single week to give me someone to banter with, someone to chat with, somebody to talk to while we are talking about all of these interesting topics. So make sure if you enjoyed everybody on the stream in this particular broadcast, you head over and support their channels and their social media and show them a little bit of love as well. Also, shout out to all the channel members. You guys keep the lights on. Even though it's dark in here, you keep the lights on, you keep the water running, you keep everything going here so I can continue to make content for you guys. Thank you for all of your love, your continued memberships and support, and your membership chats. Shout out to all the people that super chat and donate to the streams, whether it be through super chats or super stickers or gifting memberships. Thank you guys so much for being here. If you're watching on YouTube or Twitch, wherever you're watching me, I do appreciate all of that continued support. And I think it is time to wrap up the video. So awkwardly, I'm going to move on, but at least this is virtual and it's not live, and we're not sitting around waiting for StreamYard to end the stream. Any moment now,